welcome, Raiders! Yay! I'm so excited to see you all. Guess what today is? Today is Tuesday, and we're gonna play some D&D. It's gonna be delightful. We are here with Hunter's Harvest, doing all kinds of stuff. I would like to, first of all, shout out our brand new sponsor, Hero Forge, who is amazing, and we adore them. And if you look behind our characters, you can see what our fabulous players have done with Hero Forge. And you can do it too if you want to level up your character game, your character art game. Head over to Hero Forge and create a fabulous character in like 10 minutes. That's all it takes for you to take it from your brain, put it on a screen, and then you have it. And then if you want to, you can order it, and they will send it to you. A physical representation of your actual character. It is delightful. So head over to Hero Forge and go grab some stuff over there. We love them. And they're super supportive of our community, and we really appreciate the fact that they are. So that's lovely to start. Now, I think I'd like to hear from Zach. What happened last time?
That's a very, very, very good question. The shit hit the fan, or the web, as it were, as we travelled through some strange, dark place that seemed to be home to Drax. Or at least somewhere that Drax knew. There was lots of spiders, there was lots of strange, pukey, killy things that kept trying to get at us, and a mad bitch was laughing at us in the darkness. And yeah. No, it wasn't Lilith. It was a goddess.
Just in case.
To be clear, I kind of was as well, though. Just
yes.
To be clear.
Fair.
One minute Lilith was there, next it was just a cloud of mist, then it was Lilith, then a cloud of mist, then Lilith, then a cloud. You get the point. But
all
anyway,
over the place.
All over the place. We lost some friends, mainly pirates for some reason. For some reason, the vampires didn't seem to die, but a lot of the pirates did. But we managed to get out.
Yeah.
We managed to get out, and we came to a very destroyed vampire town.
We did.
So that's what I remember. Oh, and my arm is now completely black, as in charcoal black, as if using my planar touchstone has maybe had some effects on my mortal body.
Deleterious effects, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
It's true. But hey, let's talk about a couple more sponsors before we hear from our other players. Let's talk about Phoenix Dice, because Phoenix Dice is fabulous. And Phoenix Dice makes all of their dice from recycled materials because they love the world we live in just as much as all the worlds we play in. And when you win Phoenix Dice here on Planar Allies, you can choose any dice that you want to in the whole store, and they've got gorgeous ones. So definitely head over there, check them out. And I would like you to know that we are soon going to be doing some new things with Phoenix Dice, so it'll be even easier to get fabulous dice from us. And I would like to shout out Souls Rolls, because they're fabulous and we love them. Go to soulsrolls.com if you want to learn more about how not to get burnt out doing fabulous things like playing D&D online. They do incredible things with that, and we absolutely thank them for being such an incredible supporter of the channel. And with that, hey Diraxis, what happened to you last time?
Honestly, I'd rather not talk about it. It summoned Rise with an enormous amount of trauma, and I peed my pants.
That's true. I forgot about that.
And then
yes.
I turned us into apes, and I think that was successful.
So
and
first
what
I'd like to do is I would like to make sure Zach, Lilith, Reginald. It looks like Lilith and Reginald are in the wrong squares. But
Pixie just pointed that out.
What are you talking about? I'm Lilith.
What?
Yes, I am absolutely Reginald.
No, this is right.
What are
Yes.
you talking
It was
about?
right. It was
This is
right.
canon today.
Alright.
I'm
Definitely.
so confused.
yeah, no one knows what's happening anymore.
Yeah.
There's
It's the
First-
magic of coming out of the demon web pits.
that's right. That's right.
Wait, we
Everything's
didn't
all
swap.
fucked
You guys
up.
didn't swap bodies last week. That didn't
Yeah,
happen?
when we came out of the demon web pits, we swapped bodies. It's a whole ordeal.
It's going to be a thing. It's going to be
Yeah.
a thing.
Why am I God? Why am I the DM?
Right?
We're not anymore, so I mean,
These are important questions to ask. But the first question is, first, Jaraxis, do you feel okay talking to us since you experienced so much trauma? And everyone, will you be kind to Jaraxis
Yeah, please.
while they unpack this? I know, Reginald, that's hard for you because you're an
that's
asshole.
really hard. Yes.
Yeah, Rachel's quite mean. I think.
And you shut your goddamn
I don't
mouth.
think anything ever has happened that has been hard for Reginald. I think he's just coasted.
Is Reginald the face?
He looks
This
like
is
he looks like a
so
silver spooner
privileged.
to me.
I was going to say something about
damn.
silver spoons or something along those lines.
I feel like
Have
them
to be
fighting
silver?
words.
Yeah, why is it not gold? I never understood that.
Well,
Who
Kratos.
uses silver? It tarnishes
Well-
so easily.
So do you know where that actually comes from?
Yeah, you would know that because you're rich.
That's right. There's no. So before the 1900s, when they discovered how to actually extract aluminum from essentially any dirt that you find anywhere, aluminum was the most precious metal because it was so rare. It's
Mm.
not, you do not find veins of aluminum. So when
No,
you go
no
like
oil.
and sit and eat dinner with a king, everybody might have gold plates and gold silver and like gold utensils, but the king would be eating off aluminum.
Hmm.
And to prove to everyone that they are the most powerful in the room, and that's where the silver spoon comes from, is because it would be an aluminum, it would actually be an aluminum spoon.
Hmm.
And
That's
that's the rare
hilarious.
thing. Yeah,
That's funny. Now we use it to wrap our chicken.
that's right. Chicken's important. Also, we don't die. We don't die because chicken sat out for a day.
Yep.
Anymore. That's nice because we have
A
refrigerators. It's like that.
lot of advances since then.
You know.
That's good.
Yes. So I'm sorry, Diraxis, but apparently we are not going to be providing a space where you can talk about your trauma
I
right now because of
understand.
It's-
I can find other people, I suppose.
Oh wow, Reginald, I'm curious how you feel about that.
We're not exactly therapists anyway, so not really the best people to help you with that trauma. But yeah, as far as I can tell, we did fantastic. The place was really chaotic, but we survived. And only like Lilith, how many vampires died? Not 2, right?
It was not nearly as many as the pirates.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
it
there
was
were a
almost
lot.
as if someone chose to
Pirates were kind
the
of squishy.
pirates.
Yeah, it was almost as if somebody chose to not target the vampires and chose to target the
Weird.
pirates instead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I blame that loaf bitch.
that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
She was
Definitely that bitch
This
and
is-
not some other bitch.
This is all,
Yeah.
this is all it.
Mhm.
Lol.
Hulula, hulula. And with that,
yeah.
with that lovely pronunciation, I'd like to say thank you to Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. It's a fabulous mobile game where you get to play champions of Guess Which Realm, the Forgotten Ones. That's right. I personally like Diraxis the best because he has a fabulous hat.
It's not Diraxis.
Raxus?
Oh no!
That'd be
Starlaxle.
super cool if
All you-
Diraxus was in the
I feel-
game.
Now I feel racist because all the like,
Yeah.
you know,
Wow.
I bet he doesn't
They
have
all-
a cool Kiwi
they
accent.
all have They all have X's in their name. They're all, you know. Jarlaxle.
He's definitely not a cousin of mine or anything.
Yeah, no, right? Like, absolutely.
How dare you insinuate or even imply that?
Terrible. Terrible. But you can also get a fabulous Electrum chest if you just put that code that you can see on your screen there right into the secret code box in Idle Champions of Forgotten Realms, and you'll get all kinds of fun loot from that. And that lasts for a whole week, so you can even get it if you're watching the VODs. I'd also like to thank D&D Beyond for helping me organize everything, all the time, for every stream. You're amazing. I love you. And hey Lilith, how are you feeling about this whole situation?
I mean, better now. I definitely like not being in the demon web pits for what it's worth. And I really hope I get to keep that turning into mist thing now that we're out. Because that was really cool. Really hope it wasn't just situational for that. Because that could come in handy in the future. It did kind of feel like I had to go back and save the guys though, which was unfortunate.
You did. You definitely did.
No shame in that. I mean, you
that
definitely
wasn't-
saved our lives a little bit there.
That wasn't amazing.
I could have just gone through the whole thing as mist. It would have been.
Well, you could have taken your vampires with you too.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of odd, actually.
Like,
What? I mean, how?
They could have all just like missed it up and just like floated
Yeah.
away.
We
Can't
don't know that.
can't you teach them how
That's
to do
racist.
that? I mean,
Do you think that all vampires just turn into mist?
it's kind of selfish if
So-
you didn't teach them how. You know, you have this ability you
I
can do.
just learned.
Listen,
I was
hey,
figuring it out on the fly.
you know, some teachers are better than others. I guess it's fine.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. I mean, we've been throwing around the word bitch a lot today. I think Reginald proved
I think
who the real
Reginald-
Yeah,
Absolutely queen bitch today.
he wouldn't
Yeah.
even let me talk about my trauma. That was mean.
Shutting down conversations, being mean to everybody. I get it. You're not
Listen.
ready to talk about how this affected you.
Yeah.
I get it. You're deflecting on everyone else. 100%.
And he's a Richie. So.
Oh,
Yep, you
Um,
know it,
rude.
baby.
rude. You're all rude, is what you are. You're all terrible, terrible, rude people who,
Mhm.
by the way, I keep giving you lovely little friends for you to play with, and you keep murdering them over and over and over again.
That's just how we play. I don't know.
Just all my driders
Oh,
and my phase spiders and my giant houses that are walking around and trying to step on you. I mean,
I think we need to look up the definition of play, I think. I think we have some vastly different definitions.
Yeah, because typically when I play with things, they don't try and kill me.
Yep.
And none of the friends that you sent to play with us seemed interested in doing anything but trying to kill us.
Yeah,
So.
just rude, really.
I don't really know what you're talking about.
Mhm. Sure.
I feel like I'm being real nice.
Yeah.
I
Well.
feel like Kyle's trying to gaslight us at this point.
A little bit.
What are you?
A little bit. I mean, a little bit. A little bit.
Can we crowdsource this opinion on whether or not you're being nice? Like, can we just like ask the
Let's
audience?
ask the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's put
Yeah.
a poll. Let's put a
Fine.
poll up.
Fine, chat.
Yep.
Fine.
Yep.
Fine, we're gonna do it. We're gonna. I'm
Do
gonna
it.
do
Yep.
sit
Yeah.
and poll.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna.
I think this has backfired on us somehow. I don't.
Do.
We don't. You don't.
Let's
I don't
see.
know.
There is
I'm sure it'll be
so
fine.
we're gonna do a new poll.
Mhm.
How do you think the stream is going?
I think it's fantastic so far.
Yeah, I mean, I think.
Clunch, you betrayer.
How dare you?
I know. I thought
I
Clunch
thought-
was on our side.
I thought Edward was my friend.
Mm,
Guess not.
release the Tarask Phantom, please. Okay.
Please.
We don't need that right now. we just walked out the demon web pit, man.
We just got away from him.
Yeah,
Oh.
please don't. I just
The
like.
Clunch.
Cool.
Clunch was never
a
on
lot.
my side.
Sounds like a lot.
I mean,
Oh.
heartbroken, really.
All right. Good. All right. I think this is a solid poll. I think this will really let us know
Yeah.
how things are actually going.
I'm sure it'll be very neutral and very
Right.
not
It
leading.
absolutely is, and
Definitely
I mean,
not at all concerned about the validity of these results.
Right.
I'm
You
not
know,
either.
would
I don't think that anyone is.
Players are mean.
Oh,
be.
DM
Wow.
is amazing.
You know.
DM should kill someone.
Interesting.
DM should TPK. Players smell weird.
It's
Oh.
almost as if we knew what this poll is gonna be.
Yeah.
Almost as if we
Wow.
had foresight or something to know that this would be rigged from the beginning. Wow. Look it.
Apparently
Okay.
we
I
smell.
swear to
No,
God.
I mean-
look it. It's
I mean,
Juraxis.
I
He
did the
peed
bare
himself
minimum.
last time,
I
okay?
peed.
I don't
I
did.
used
I don't think he showered since then, okay?
I haven't
I
had
just-
time. I tried my best with prestidigitation, but sometimes the stiffness of your trousers won't go away.
Okay, who voted for a
It's not my
TPK?
fault. Okay,
Yeah,
who did?
yeah, whoever voted for a TPK, just raise your hand. I just want to talk.
Please.
I just want to talk.
We're just
I
chatting.
just want to talk. Just let me know. Just raise your hand. I'll
Just-
I'll come around your DMs. I just want to talk.
100 channel
So-
points.
So with 90% of the vote,
Mhm.
and this was not rigged at all,
I guess that's canon.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
players smell weird. So
Again, Duraxis peed
No.
himself last week. I don't think that was a fair
Yeah.
option.
it doesn't
Yeah,
say
I
it doesn't
mean-
say player. It says players. All right.
Look it. Just because we're in the same vicinity and there's the
Right.
cloud of
Yeah,
of
it's hard to
pecans,
tell.
I just
Wow.
What?
Absolutely.
You
Well, I'm
average
glad
out our
to know-
smell.
I don't know Miss Cloud, fortunately.
I'm
I don't
very
think it's
glad to
actually
know
possible for me
that-
to smell anymore because I'm not
you don't
alive,
breathe.
so I don't actually generate
It's
body,
totally true.
I don't sweat. I don't, you know.
Well, you're an undead, right? So don't they
You
kind of?
Smell of death.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little bit.
All right. Well, is that weird though? I don't think that's weird. I think weird is relative. So
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh.
that's actually totally true.
love how we're right
thank you,
in there.
Really
Clunch.
trying to
And with
convince
Smell is
people.
relative.
With that,
I agree with Clunch.
I'm gonna thank Gemmed Firefly. Delightful place.
Good segue.
I
Yeah,
think that's a great
that's
segue.
Perfect.
I don't know if you all noticed just how delightful that segue
Oh.
was.
That was
Just
beautiful.
But that's it.
Like, I just wanna, for those of you watching at home, that's how you do a graceful segue.
You get an inspiration, Kyle.
There you go.
I
Do
do.
not give him an inspiration, Josh.
He doesn't need any
Gemmed
more.
Firefly
No.
is the official merch store for the Foundation for Inclusivity in Gaming. So anything you purchase there that has the fake logo on it, and we're designing some fabulous new stuff too. One of the t-shirts that we're actually gonna be creating is gonna be our tagline, which is delight, decode, decolonize. So when we make that, everybody go get that t-shirt and wear it all over the place and let everyone knows that we need to decolonize all the bullshit that's going on everywhere. And Realm Warp Media, who is the official publisher of all of the magnificent mythologies that we do. This weekend, we are doing a fabulous 12-hour stream where we're going to be playing 3 of the adventures that were written in the magnificent mythologies. Adventures from Honey Buns, from A Ghost of Eli, and from Maddie Kung. So that's going to be delightful. And on Saturday, all 3 of those adventures will be available for purchase. So if you want to directly influence and support people of color in our community, you can go and buy those adventures. I'm seeing a new poll.
Yeah, you don't need to look at it. It's fine.
What do you mean? Nothing.
What?
Nothing's on the
No,
screen.
Just go ahead and just DM. Don't pay no attention to the poll behind the curtain, Kyle.
No polls are there.
What?
What? Who keeps? No. Okay, hold on.
someone's
spending all
paying
them
for
bits?
Josh here.
Yeah. Chat, you have the power. Okay. Oh my God.
This will be canon. The deciding of this will be canon.
Who is? Oh my.
I'm going to count to 3.
It's already done.
Oh, it's
1.
Snowflake boy. Wow.
3,000 channel points.
It's
Alright.
top tier,
Canon-
Kyle. Okay?
canon
It's
top
top
tier.
tier. It's canon.
You're all still gonna die for that.
Look at how cute my face
I'd
is.
like
You don't
to
wanna
see you
TPK
try.
this face. It's such a cute face.
Excuse me, DM. I die every game, so this not new.
That should be the next poll. Who's gonna go down first in combat today?
It's not even a
It's
poll.
second.
We all know direct.
Right.
Second. Who's going down second?
Or how fast?
I mean,
how
you know what
fast?
we can do a poll and we can see whether or not there will be combat today.
Oh yeah, that's true. I mean, at this rate, we could just talk. We could just be chatting all day.
We're having a grand old time.
We are.
Yeah, who needs story when you have banter?
It's
There you
fine.
go.
It's fine. And with that piece of ridiculousness, I'd like to point out that we do like it when we have fabulous audience participation, and there's a million ways to do it. So our favorite way is, of course, the Wheel of Chaos. That is our delightfulness. Just FYI, we're having some animated GIFs with some little animated emotes made. Just so you know, we're gonna have animated things. And one of them is gonna be the Wheel of Chaos. So I expect when we roll on that wheel that we will get spammed with those all over the place, which I am super excited about because the mascot for the Wheel of Chaos is going to be, for those of you who know the Hunter's Harvest campaign, you know Karhani, the angel, or the fairy that Amber played, which is super delightful because she is just a force of chaos that now rides around on a black dragon and has the whip of Erebos while she's riding around in black leather. She is your sorry mommy fabulous lady. Thank you so much for the sub, Phantom. That is amazing.
Ooh.
You are delightful. And we now have a legendary resistance on the table. So in your pool, you do have a legendary resistance today. Anytime you help out the channel, you also help out the players, sometimes the DM. So anytime you throw any bits or subs or donations, you will be helping the players. In addition to that, if we get any sort of pipe train, then there are permanent bonuses for the entire session that everybody is going to get. So that's delightful, up to and including, we will give away some Phoenix dice immediately if you want some fabulous dice of Phoenix dice. So, anybody want to play some D&D? Is that what you want to do?
Yeah, I do.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
We'll have to do a sudden music change because this is not appropriate for where we're at.
It
No,
sounds
just-
like a very good idea.
Yeah.
Sudden music change.
Oh, that was sudden.
That's why
Now
I
there's
said
no music.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
it. The beginning of that song
There we
is
go.
really quiet, so I usually skip it ahead like 10 seconds or so.
As you see the portal to the demon web pits begin to fade from view. You witness thousands of spiders trying to drag your poor mimic back down into the demon web pits. You witness a giant hand tear from the darkness and grasp Dapple Dance. The portal begins to close. You hear something akin to a scream shimmer through the giant mimic. You hear a tearing sound. As Dapple Dance is torn in half. Diminished but alive. Thank goodness. And with that, I would like to acknowledge both Pixie and Lando and Phantom for helping us get to a hype train. A level 1 hype train. That is
Dapple
what that means
dreary
is
sauce.
every person gets bless for the first combat of today, because we got level 1 in the hype train. As we go up the hype train, we will get all kinds of fabulous stuff. And if anybody wants to sub, to gift 5 subs, we will also all get to roll on the Wheel of Chaos, which I love, because that includes me too. I get to get special stuff and then use it against them. That's fun.
Who would do that though? That's just
Terrible
crazy.
people. Oh no! Oh no!
This is ridiculous. No one would do that.
Well, look at this. All right, it looks like we are up to Lando. What's a level 2 hype train get us?
Let me double check. It is everyone gets
inspiration.
Everybody, please mark inspiration on your character sheets. Yay! Now, I'd like to see what the chaos brings. Hey, Lilith, show me chaos. Let me see. Let me see.
Just a little chaos? Just a little chaos. As a treat.
Ooh, you get 4 key points. Look at you, Monkey Monka.
Ooh.
This. What about you, Zach? What are you gonna do? Ooh, you get 6 extra attack. You always get that, and you always turn into a goddamn blender.
So great.
He does. He really
Blender's
does.
Whoa. Incoming whirlwind.
That's right. Hey, Duraxis. What about you?
Oh,
you get
2
2
sneak
sneak
attacks.
attacks. I love it.
Ooh.
And Reginald, what about you?
Let's see.
You get a legendary action.
Oh, yes.
And let's see what I get. I'm gonna get something nice. That's what I'm gonna get. I get 3 extra attacks.
I should really block Clinganali's account for being able to roll the Wheel of Chaos.
Yes.
That'd be...
Why isn't this working?
Oh man, that's
Oh,
so
no.
weird.
It's a
Oh,
mystery.
Sometimes that's just how the chaos
Yeah.
be.
Yeah,
Chaos
it's-
reigns.
So
It's
chaotic.
part of it.
feeling very targeted today. I need you all to calm down. What I really need is I need more caffeine. I just need more caffeine. So now,
And with that, I'm going to cut down on the hand that has just ripped Devil Dance in half.
you're going to what?
I'm going to cut the hand that ripped Devil Dance in half before it disappears into
Very
the portal.
sorry, but it was on the other side of the portal. Sadly, you
Mm.
can no longer get to it.
Do you know how tempting it is to dive into that portal? I won't, but it's tempting.
I know, Zach. I know, Zach.
Legitimately, when you said Dapple Dance, I was thinking of Dapple Jury Sauce. And I was like,
Yeah.
holy shit, he just fucking killed an NPC that's been here for a while so casually. And then I realized that it was the Mimic, which is still sad, but not quite as sad.
Yeah, because the Mimic's still alive.
Yeah, and you're like, it's still alive. I was like, what the actual fuck? I'm so confused.
Yeah. It was. So yes. If we can get to a level 3 hype train, we are going to get heroism for the entire time. And that is delightful.
Really need that.
We're almost
Right?
there. I mean,
Duraxis needs literally every little bit of help that he can possibly get. Because Duraxis is totally unaware of how goddamn squishy he is.
I have bird bones.
I feel like Duraxis is absolutely that guy that like stands in front of his friends and does like a hero pose, and then just gets punched once and falls down.
mhm.
But
Absolutely. Yeah. No, this is canon. Yeah.
I don't even think he gets in front of his friends. He goes to do the defensive position and just falls on the floor.
He trips over a rock, or like a small piece of debris flies out of nowhere and hits him in the head inexplicably.
he gets pink eye and falls down.
Yes!
Yeah.
That's what happens to Duraxis.
It's allergies.
Mhm.
Right.
Hay fever.
It's allergies. He's not used to things on the surface.
Yes. He's so much more powerful.
He doesn't have sunlight sensitivity. He
Roll for
just has
pink eye.
allergies.
All right. If I get a nat 1, I'll.
Oh my god.
Disadvantage, mind you.
Disadvantage.
I mean,
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's important. These are important things. I'm sorry.
Oh, it was close. I got a 3.
I'm not sure why I'm so punch drunk today.
I know. We all came to chat a little spicy today.
Yeah, I think it's the vibe, you know?
I feel like it is. I feel like it's definitely like I feel like I think Planet Allies is growing, changing. Our Wednesday, our Wednesday things are generally, a little more wholesome. We're discovering that our Tuesday evenings, because it's moving into evening, we go a little blue. We go a little blue. This is the late show. So yeah, I hope everybody's looking for that.
We have fun here.
I'm not gonna get any more emotes because I've collected all the level 2 emotes apparently.
Oh, nice.
So I feel robbed. I feel robbed in this. I feel targeted. I'm feeling very targeted by everyone all the time. And I'm gonna be sad about it, and you're all gonna suffer for it. So
The world woke up and chose violence against Kyle, and that's just how the circle of pain works.
You know, this is not
Very
your day.
it isn't, and that makes me sad.
Oh, God.
It's actually been a decent day. It hasn't.
Woo.
Let's-
Okay.
Let's do the things, shall we?
Yeah, we're supposed to be sad, guys. Everything
Well,
happens.
you're supposed to be something. You did just escape the demon web pits after losing a bunch of your comrades, after turning a lich into a solar and watching an entire town get destroyed. So you things definitely aren't great. They're not super awesome. I'd like to hear from Zach, like how you're feeling.
Oh, I'm pissed. I just watched Dapple Dance get torn in half. I would be over with Dapple Dance, making sure that she's all right, with Dapple Prance as well, I suppose. Trying to see if she's bleeding or if there's anything that we can do to try and patch her up. I'll bring the pirates as well, because obviously it's their ship, and just be trying to help her out. I'm not paying much attention to the state of the town behind me, because at this point it is unimportant to me.
Yeah.
It is the mimic who has saved our life on a number of occasions.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What are you going to do about this? That's how you feel. What are you actually going to do?
I would like to kill everything, but I know that I can't at the moment. For the moment, I'm going to gather some leaves, any torn blankets or tarpaulin or anything like that that can be used as bandages for any cuts or anything that Dapple Dance has, to try and patch her up the best that I can. I will work with the pirates to try and get her into a safe position if she's not able to move herself, and try and set her up so she's comfortable and able to heal so that she can morph back into a ship. The plan is to send, from me personally, would be to send Dapple Dance, Dapple Prance, and the pirates away from here now. There's too many of them have died needlessly. They need to get to safety, and I want to make sure that that happens. I failed to protect them up to this point.
You also failed to protect the vampires. And I'm curious how Lilith feels about that.
Not great. And I guess I shouldn't be surprised, because as I mentioned, I had to save them, and I am but one person. You'd think that one person shouldn't be able to save quite so many people from really obvious death. I feel like they probably should have been a little more capable. So right now, it definitely is something that I'm taking incredibly personally. We undertook this curse. It's not really a curse, let's be honest, but we underwent this ritual to avoid dying, and we were doing great up until Tweedledee, Tweedledum, and Tweedledummer showed up. So I don't know.
Now
Just spitting facts.
Right? Hey, Nathaniel, how do you feel about being called Tweedledummer?
You keep calling Reginald different white male names, and
Yeah, I was like, what?
'cause
You all look the same
who's
to me.
Nathaniel? A
Some
little
guy.
racist.
Yeah, some rich white guy.
Reginald is over trying to heal some of the pirates, or heal Daraxis a little bit too. So I'm gonna use a few spell slots on that.
Thank you.
That's just what I'm doing.
He's got one.
Well, I'm curious, after hearing Lilith describe you as Tweedledummer, what's going on with you?
I don't know what I did wrong. I mean, I killed a lot of those things back there. So I mean,
You just that okay. There's Daraxis. You're seeing everybody sort of step back into their own corners, and you've been insanely traumatized, having to face down Lolth yet again. How are you feeling?
We could do nothing. We were literally insects. I thought that maybe not that we could kill her, but maybe we could stand against her at least a little bit. But what are we even doing? What?
Zach, I'm curious how you feel about being called an insect.
Me? I spat out plenty of them when we were down there. I'm not too keen on being called an insect. Given half the chance, I would have sliced that goddess in half, bitch. Definitely not an insect. And this angel, lich, whatever the freaking hell the thing is, she's gonna get it when I get to her. My sword is gonna go right through her undead heart. But, for the moment, I'll let Drax continue.
I'm curious what Lilith has to say about you stabbing someone in their undead heart.
Yeah, no, it's hard not to feel a little targeted by it, to be honest, especially because last time I checked, undead hearts is the only reason that you're still here. So, who knows? You know? Maybe just watch what you say. Maybe just like don't be so absolutely insensitive.
I'm not being insensitive to you. You're not the undead bitch that's caused all of this.
Still, just undead.
By choice.
Yes.
You have to take that on the chin, as I would if somebody came up to me and said I was a bumbling idiot, or, dumb and dumber.
Yeah.
Ah, got your mouth there, didn't I?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just watched like a whole bunch of my people die. So it's
You mean died
kind of
again?
like
You've already watched them die once, you've just watched them die again.
I watched them become undead. There is a difference. There is a difference between dying and becoming undead, and I would really appreciate if you would learn the difference.
God
I'd
dang
also
it.
like...
You guys are arguing over something so... Your powers, your touchstones, let me remind you, are the reason we were in that place in the first place.
Our touchstones?
Yes.
Your touchstone. Who was the one
My
who
touchstone can
ripped
only do the
thousands
ethereal.
of souls out of bodies?
Who was the one that connected their energy to a different plane?
I think all of our touchstones had something to do with it, didn't they, really? We had Drax's one made warforged insignificant, or some little gadgety thing on their inside. Yours one, Reg, pulled out the souls of everything around, and in order to stop that, I had to create a cage around those that we care about, because for some reason you don't care about anything, so one of us had to protect them. And while those souls were being dragged out of the enemy, Lilith decided that she wanted to gobble them all up. So, and all the negative energy that was created from that is what transported us into that hellscape in the first place. So I think we are all to blame.
I do not decide that souls come into this touchstone. Thank you very much. It is not like I can just say, hey, I'm going to take the soul now. It just happens. And when there are that many, like, how was I supposed to know? This isn't a choice that I made. It's a thing that happened.
So you'd rather you didn't absorb all of those souls?
I mean, if that's what ended up getting all of my people killed, then yeah. What good are souls if all of my people died?
It wasn't, though. It was the cage that stopped them. But the negative energy created from our 4 touchstones is what causes us to go down to Lolth in the first place. And this arm that I now carry was me trying to access that power, trying to abuse that power to try and get us out. I'm not using my touchstone again because it has caused so much fuckery in the past 24 hours or however long we were down there for. I suggest you all do the same. Unless absolutely necessary.
And as he says that, the 3 of you, each of you, please give me a perception check.
Oh, goodness.
Yay!
Let's see, shall we? If anybody,
I am.
Oh, Lilith, you were just deep in this argument. You don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah, I'm so filled with rage at this argument. Like, I'm not willing to hear it. I'm not paying any attention to anything else.
No. Reginald, you notice that while the town around you is just wrecked, it's just destroyed. As you three are fighting, bits of the town seem to be shifting and changing. It's like utter chaos is being unleashed in tiny little bits all around you as you're arguing. But you're the only one that sees it.
Guys, I don't mean to halt your argument for a second, but this place
I'm
is
gonna
falling apart.
stop you right there. Are you gonna let him halt your argument? Because it's pretty heated.
Like, I don't. What? Look, we are having a discussion, Reginald. If you don't have anything
No,
interesting
wait,
to
seriously,
add
calm
to this
down a
topic-
little bit, please.
What?
It's no,
What, are you going
What?
to make some insensitive joke about lives not being
no,
important
that's not
again?
it. No, it's just the walls around us are literally falling apart as we argue. We got to get out of here.
What do you mean the wall? There aren't any walls.
Everything is crumbling around us. It's not safe
yeah,
here.
metaphorically, yes. You're
No, I
absolutely
mean
correct.
literally.
Everything is literally is crumbling around us.
No,
Metaphorically
I mean
speaking.
no, Lilith. Just listen to me for a second. We need to.
Well,
not-
while you are all continuing to argue, Diraxis, what are you doing?
Diraxis is trying so hard not to freak the fuck out because he's hearing all this argument, and the only thing that's running through his head is nothing matters. If we stay on the path that we're going, we're all gonna die, and everyone that we know and love are gonna die. We are not powerful enough to fight this. What the fuck are we even doing?
So you're just in the corner, rocking back
Just
and forth.
spiraling. Just
Yeah. Right.
So
Um,
yeah.
Absolutely. Yep, that's what's happening.
Guys,
Continue.
really, I think I look to my left and like a building shifts again, and I'm just like, really, guys, we need to stop yelling so much. I think our conversations and arguments are causing the buildings to shift and collapse more.
Does that
I'll
work?
have you know
Have
that
you
more
used that on somebody before and it's worked?
This isn't a pickup line. What are you talking about?
Not a pickup line. Trying to get out of arguments.
Oh,
My God, Reginald.
what? No, I mean, look around you. It's
Oh
falling
no,
apart.
Mommy and Daddy are arguing and the building is starting to fall down all around me. Oh no.
This isn't a therapy session.
Sorry, let me take that platinum spoon out of your mouth. Back to you anyway, vampire.
God, what are you guys?
I think you'll
No.
find more pirates died in that place than vampires did.
I'm gonna
Great.
ask
I don't know anything
Reginald-
about the pirates.
I'm gonna ask Reginald a question. Is it more important for Reginald to be right, or is it more important for Reginald to do something?
To do something.
Okay. What are you gonna do?
Man, how many spells do I have? Let me see if I have something. Shit.
I'm not gonna give you all that
While
dead
they,
air.
while they argue, I'll look. Because we kind of interrupted
yeah,
them.
So, Reginald is walking away. Diraxis is rocking back and forth. What are you two doing?
I mean, with a nat 1 on my perception, like, is this a thing? Like, am I ever going to notice it as long as I'm engaged in a conversation with Zach? Because my
gonna
thought
depend.
is,
It's
Okay.
just gonna depend on like where the conversation goes. If you feel the need to continue arguing with Zach, so I'll ask you the same question. Is it
Mhm.
more? Does Lilith like being right?
yes.
Okay. So if that is
Didn't
that
even
the
need to
most
think of that.
important situation here? Is that the most important thing to
Uh,
Lilith right now?
I mean, no. The most important thing would be trying to find anybody else in this village that's alive. And honest to God, getting away from these three, because the thought of being around them anymore is just like I just need a break. I just need like 5 minutes to myself away from their faces.
Fabulous. What are you gonna do about that?
I just turn and look at Zach and I say, look it. I hmm, hmm, hmm. I don't want to say that I like you. But I like you less than I did before right now. So I'd rather not kill you because I'm pretty sure that I could. So I'm just gonna walk away and try not to hate you with every fiber of my being. And then I just turn around. Actually, no, I don't even turn around and walk off. I turn into mist and float off because fuck it. That's how little I care about this right now.
And as she does that, I say under my breath, even though she can't hear me because she's missed, I said, "That's it. Walk away like you did from life."
Ugh.
Oh, it is a good thing that I did not hear you.
Oh shit!
It is a good thing. It is a
That's
good
it.
thing.
He's very angry. And he goes back to Dapple Dance. Or I go back to Dapple Dance.
As they start walking away, I think some of their like stomping or whatever from Josh and their huffs and everything cause one of the buildings that some of the people are using as shelter right now starts to collapse. And Reginald just kind of looks up, and then I cast Fabricate, and then just create this support and fix this building. And I look around and I say, this isn't the time for your fighting.
But one of them can't hear you.
One of us
Then
is missed.
Then I'll look at Zach and I'll be like, this isn't time for us to be fighting. Okay? These people, they're not like us. Okay? They will die if they don't get help right now.
We need to get Dapple Dance ready, healed up, so she can take these people away, or even Dapple Prance. Just need to get them away from here, get them away from all of this.
As
Lilith
you
chooses to go
mentioned-
with them, then fine, but I'm carrying on.
As you mentioned both of them, you look over and you see the two of them start to combine again. Now that Dapple Dance has lost so much of themselves to the demon web pits, she is reabsorbing her child so that the two of them together are a little larger. They are about half the size right now together as they were when they were the ship that brought you here.
Goodbye, Dapple Prance. I hope to see you again soon.
And you
Dapple
see the
Dance.
bows on Dapple Prance sort of wiggle a little bit as she just combines back again with her mother.
Are you able to get these people to safety, or do you need some more time?
Tell me, what sort of image do you have in your head right now of Dapple Prance?
Dapple Dance or Dapple Prance?
Dapple Prance.
The child. Well, been absorbed into the mother now, but before they went in, I would say they were probably still in their cart form. And as they were absorbed inside, back into their mother, it would have healed up some more of the wounds, some of the wounds that she had sustained from being ripped apart, and caused her to grow a little bit more, like you said. Not obviously a lot, but enough. But I think Dapple Dance still looks like they might need a little bit more time. The pirates would be around, the remaining pirates would be around trying to help, because this Dapple Dance is their home, effectively. It's where they live. So they would be as attentive to her as possible, I reckon.
As they reattach to each other, you see Dapple Dance begin to shift and change. It looks like she's trying to take on the form of Dapple Prance, just a much larger version of it. A huge carriage with, gorgeous bows and like steamers, and just very happy, but she can't quite pull it off right now. So she ends up like, it looks like some of the wheels are broken and like one of the doors is hanging off the hinges and things like that. But the pirates see this and they head over. Dapple Dreary Sauce, the queen of the pirates, heads over to the other pirates and says, okay, so yeah, we gotta go because this is crazy. And there's a bunch of vampires. No offense, but we saw what you did to those cows over there. So, yeah, listen, we understand that you're living, that you're people. But you got to promise us that we'll be safe around you. Can you do that?
Who's she talking to?
The vampires, but V specifically.
Okay.
Yeah.
V, I'm gonna need you to let us know.
If
Are they
we
safe?
wanted to eat you, we would have. Ergo, we don't want to eat you.
Well, okay, I suppose that's good enough for now. Do you all have a home to go to? Because it looks like this one's a bit of a mess.
No. This was it. So
Okay, well, come on. We're not gonna wait forever. And she points to all the vampires and she's like, come on.
all the vampires just kind of look back and forth at each other and just kind of like give a little nod because yeah, I mean they don't have any other options, and of course they know that Lilith would support this. So yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, vampire pirates sounds like quite cool.
Vampires, you mean?
Vampirates, yep.
Absolutely. This is the thing. 100%.
Yeah.
So, you send off Dapple Dance with the pirates and the vampires in tow as Daraxus continues to rock back and forth. Reginald tries to fix up the world, and V is wandering off. Lilith is wandering off in the mist. Zach, what are you doing?
Now the Dapple Dance is gone with all of the civilians, I'll notice Drax rocking himself in the corner. The heat of the argument and everything, I was more focused on insulting somebody who I've just met rather than looking out for those who I travelled here with. So noticing Drax, I'll walk over to him and I will sit next to him and just put an arm around him. I won't say anything, but I sit next to him on the side where my good arm is, because my charcoal arm is tender to the touch at the moment. When looking at it, you can see that there are these strange yellowy green veins in the hand, as if the skin's going to just fall away. But yeah. I'm keeping that away. I'm not using that at all at the minute. I'm just got my arm around Drax, and I won't say anything to him, but I'll just sort of hold him.
Drax will he'll reach out and he'll put his arms around Zach and just start crying, and through tears be like, we even stand a chance?
We do.
But how? I want to leave, but I'm so scared.
We need to work together. The three of us as is not enough. As much as I don't get on with Lilith, I'm going to pretend that I can't see her face at the moment. As much as I don't get on with Lilith, having her with us is going to be advantage. It is going to be an advantage, but We need to be able to work together. She needs to be able to work with us and not just go off and do her own thing. We need to be able to work with her and not attack her in any way. I will have to apologize to her, begrudgingly, but we can push forward and we can do this. We just need to stick together as a group, and I sort of move my head, so I try to lock eyes with him. You'll be all right. We're not in that place anymore. If you need some time to recover from what happened down there, I won't ask questions. I fully understand experiencing your past or a trauma for you is not something that is nice to experience. So take all the time that you need. I will be here. Reginald, he is a good man. He will be here as well. He seems to be trying to rebuild the village. I don't think he's noticed everybody's gone yet, so there's no point rebuilding it. But anyway, we're here for you, okay?
Sorry, someone's doing something upstairs. I have no idea what that was. It was really loud. Sorry. Duraxis is gonna look Zach in the eyes and be like, "Thank you," and just give him like a big hug.
I hug him back.
And
One
As
hand.
that
one hand.
happens, all of you feel another shard of the reef of glass slot into place. And the effects are becoming more powerful every time it happens. In this situation, because all four of you are close enough together, Lilith, you turn from mist back into your physical form. And you and Reginald are suddenly flung directly towards Zach and Duraxis. I'd like everybody to give me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, great.
I didn't realize you all wanted to get in on this hug so much.
And you just see both of them just out of the blue. You hear the music of the spheres very briefly as this thing slots into place, and then they just come flying at you.
I'm going to make that with advantage.
That's a 10.
27.
It's a 6, but
Here you go.
that makes complete sense to me.
Naturally
absolutely.
20.
So,
Okay.
Save me,
Lilith
save
comes
me, Zach.
flying towards Zach, and as she is turning from mist back into her vampire form, Zach sees her coming, very casually stands up, holds his hand out. She takes his hand, uses it to slow herself down, and lands very gently right next to him. Reginald, you go flying at Duraxis, and the two of you just turn into like a dust cloud as you travel probably like 40 or 50 feet, just a tangle of arms and legs, and both of you end up face down on the ground next to each
Yeah,
other.
that was quick. I had 1 hit point, so Duraxis is now unconscious.
God dang it, we just got him back up.
It's not even a combat. It's literally,
Oh.
something happens.
This is going to turn into an
Duraxis
every
has-
session thing now.
I mean, Kyle did promise us that he would be the first one to go.
There we go.
As I watch this happen, I let go of Zach's hand and I look at him and I just say, "Thanks, Tweedledee."
Ooh.
Thank you, Corpse Bride.
Ooh.
That's the nicest
That's
thing
really
anyone's
cute.
ever said to me.
So's Tweedledee.
Oh my
It's
God,
the nicest thing I could have called you. So
I'll get up a little bit and I'll cure wounds Duraxis.
Oh,
tap his face a little bit. You're
Ah.
back with us, buddy. You didn't have to go towards the light this time, okay?
Ah.
Also, could you refrain from going to the light for the foreseeable future, please? It doesn't help when you say that we're not going to win this fight if you fall down the moment somebody touches you.
It's really not great.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I'll do my best. Ah.
Is there somewhere around here where we can rest? That might help Drax's survivability.
I set up this building as a little fortress for us for now, but it's not luxury.
It will do.
Yeah.
Right. And as we walk up, V might be able to notice that close to the building is a few unmarked graves, and I'll just look up and I'll be like, I couldn't do a full funeral rite, but seemed I'll kind of like look up and it seemed bad just to leave them laying out. So, and I won't say anything else and I'll walk in.
I just kind of like really quietly as he walks off, just say, thanks. And then I'll head inside, just kind of like looking over at the graves, because it was unnecessary, but appreciated, because we don't do well in sunlight, so that would have been very unfortunate to wake up to.
Well, it wasn't just the vampires, it was some of the pirates and stuff too, but yeah.
Absolutely.
What do we do now?
We go on watch, take watches, we rest, and then in the morning we make our way towards that mountain. And that's where the Solar Lich Solar, whatever the fuck we're calling her now, that's where she came from. So that's where we've got to go.
Yeah. Alright. And Durax is just gonna, like, collapse and go to sleep. Well, actually, no, because he doesn't go to sleep. He's gonna just sit and rest.
Contemplate.
Yeah. He's gonna
his
try not to think at all.
crisis.
There's a river outside. You could go take a shower, maybe.
As you
We all apparently
That's
smell,
right.
so
You
we
are-
should.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all of
that's
us smell. So
as Lilith looks towards the river, you can still see a few lanterns floating down it from the festival that was supposed to be held at this time. And as they sort of drift into the bayou, you notice that some of them just sort of get snuffed out for some reason.
can I go investigate that? Because that's not normal.
You can.
When I see this happen, I stand up and everybody's kind of settled in for the night. And I feel like I should let them know what's happening, but I'm not 100% sure that they'll understand why it matters. But I think if I just say, I think there's something in the bayou. You guys can stay. But I need to go. I have to go check this out.
Oh, I won't say anything, but when Lilith moves off, I will follow behind. But I want to keep myself a distance away so that I can get to Lilith if Lilith needs it without Lilith knowing about it, or to get back to the Squidgies back in the hut if they need it.
Reginald's asleep already. He's out.
And yeah, I wouldn't want to bother Duraxis with it because he needs his time. So yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, he needs a little rest.
Yeah, a little bit.
bit. Yeah, you head out. You now really see the level of devastation, and it's literally like armies just walked through the houses. There's almost nothing left that is higher than about like an inch.
This just breaks my heart. Everything, this town, when we were alive to now, everything that we've done, we were so resilient and we fought so hard and we did so much, and to have everything just gone. I'm sad. I'm mad. I'm just, there's so many feelings and none of them are neutral. They're all on
Right.
either end of a very, very extreme spectrum.
I get it. Now, you can sense something in the darkness. You can't tell what. But as you approach, it wanders further away. It always seems to be keeping its distance.
I call out to it. Who's there?
Nothing.
Please, I'm out of ideas. I'm so tired. I'm so mentally and just physically like I don't really get tired because my muscles don't function the way that they used to, right? But like I'm just drained.
Out of spoons. You just
Yeah.
out of spoons.
Exactly. And so I'm just kind of just please, and I'll actually just kind of like just drop to my knees because I'm just
On the edge of the swamp. You just drop to your knees and you feel the swamp water coat your pants. Now you smell like the swamp.
no weirder than before.
Right.
Do I see the lanterns anywhere nearby? The ones that got snuffed out?
The lanterns continue to float. Now they don't seem to be being snuffed out.
Are there tracks or anything? Is there anything that I can notice?
And there wouldn't be because you're now, you can see out, like, this area didn't seem to be affected too much by what they did. They didn't seem to come into the swamp. They just shattered all the buildings. So you see the wooden piers that go all the way up, miles out to the open ocean. But everything else, there's between like 4 and like 8 feet of water anywhere. You know, you're in that sort of mangrove swamp.
Yeah. And this presence that I've noticed since I came here, like I can still kind of feel it, but it's still that same distance
it's
away.
definitely keeping its distance. Is there Are you proficient with nature?
No, I'm not, unfortunately.
Then yeah, there's just, you don't see anything.
Just survive. Not. Oh, I'm not proficient with survival. No, but I have survival. But I'm not proficient. So no. Damn, my medicine skill's not coming in handy. Uh. uh. Yeah. I mean, I'll sit there for a while. I guess, just kind of lost in thought. Because I don't want to keep chasing this thing. Especially if it's not something that it seems like I can catch up to. I mean, I suppose the only other option is I turn into mist and see if I can find it in my misty form.
I'm gonna ask you if you feel like Lilith would do that right now, or is she just so exhausted?
Oh no, I mean she's exhausted. Like she's like once she falls to her knees and like there's just water and there's like the mud and the guck, she just kind of is like resigned to just being in the muck for a bit. 'Cause there's nothing left.
Anything
And she'll
else
watch
you
the
like to do?
lanterns that come by, but that's the ones that aren't getting snuffed out are giving her a little bit of comfort, but she'll just sit there.
I'll seeing her fall to her knees and seemingly call out to somebody, not noticing or feeling the presence of or anything. I'll approach Lilith. I'll stand just behind her and I'll watch the lanterns for a little bit and go to place my hand on her shoulder, but think better of it. And I'll just go, I'm sorry.
Not your fault. You've nothing to be sorry for.
It feels that you might have been better off if we hadn't have come here. A few of your people would still be alive if the actions that we brought upon this place didn't happen. I'm sorry that you've been dragged into the middle of all of this. Your family have gone with the pirates. If you wish to go with them, you can. If you wish to stay with us, I know Reginald and Daraxus would be happy to have you, and although we do not see eye to eye, I respect you as a warrior and as a person, as a leader. And it would be an honor to have you fighting at my side as well.
I mean, what's that saying about hindsight? But I mean, to be clear, I don't, I guess, really blame the three of you for everything that's happened. I wanted to avoid it all. That's why I did this to myself and my people in some stupid, potentially misguided attempt to avoid everything that's happened, even though we did the thing. And I can't, I'm just, another wave of exhaustion just kind of like comes over me, and I just like drop my shoulders because I can't even like form sentences at this point that are coherent and make sense. I did all of this, and it with the hope that it would keep us safe, and it was for nothing, because my people are dead, my home is destroyed. So I mean, how could I give up on seeing this through to the end, right?
The
I have
home
to-
is not. Sorry.
No, I just think that I have to at least try and get a little bit of revenge for what's happened, I guess. And maybe that's ill-guided too. Who knows? I don't.
Home is not. This place is not your home. Home is not bricks. It is not mortar. Home is the people that you meet, people that you create bonds with, your family that you have back with the pirates. They are your home. I've traveled across multiple planes, and I have a home. But this place is beginning to feel like home as well. The people here are good people. You're a good person. The actions that you've taken to protect your people are noble. To some people, they might seem odd, but you've done what is best to protect your family, your home. I would do the same. Not turning them into vampires, because I can't read, so I wouldn't be able to actually cast the spell. But I would do something along those lines if given the chance.
And as the two of you continue this conversation, you begin to walk back to the resting space for everyone else. Everyone exhausted, ready to just fall down. The light of forgiveness twinkling somewhere in your eyes. And you may all take a long rest. Thank God. You all
need
get a
it.
long rest. And I would like to say, welcome, Rollers of Fate. Thank you for raiding into us. Absolutely welcome. We do all kinds of fabulous stuff over here right now. We have just gotten back from the demon web pits to find out that Lilith's entire city has been destroyed by the armies of Kilnasi, the Lich Queen. So now, as the sun begins to rise, you have slept, you have regained your strength, and it is time. Where will you go?
Does anybody have food or rations on them?
Weirdly, no.
No, well, I mean, you all are rations for Lilith, so.
Yes, but that was I mean, I wasn't gonna say that because it just makes things a little awkward.
I think we can shift the music too when it's now day. We've had a moment to rest. We've moved through all of that. We can have a little something.
I'm gonna pull through some of my supplies. And if anybody else has anything that they can add to it, then I will, and I'll take it. And I will do some cooking, and I will use my chef feat. So
You're gonna get fancy rations.
yes. So I can prepare food that allows creatures to regain additional hit points, which is not the bit that I'm doing. I am doing the bit where, so with 1 hour cooking, I can give everybody a number of temporary hit points equal to my proficiency bonus, so which is +4, I believe. So yeah, everybody will get like a nice little cookie. And if you choose to eat it, you will get 4 temporary hit points.
So as he hands you these cookies, all of you smell like it just everything suddenly starts to smell like dead fish.
Dude, what did you put in these cookies, man?
It smells like fish.
Have you never had fish cookies before?
Is that what this is?
Yeah.
I
Drax is
mean-
gonna take a little nibble.
There's not much else around.
Is it good?
I made it. Of course it's good.
Alright.
As he says that, the wind sort of shifts in your direction, and suddenly the smell of dead fish is just overpowering.
Oh, I don't think it's the cookies.
Yeah, no, I was joking when I said that. What is
Oh,
that smell?
Yeah. Oh, I
Oh.
mean, it's, oh God. Oh,
Ugh.
oh.
What is that? Can I investigate at all and see where it's coming from?
I don't think you need to
Absolutely.
investigate it. I think it's clear what it is.
I'm going to investigate. Do I roll?
Yeah, roll me an investigation check.
Drax is gonna pull out some lint from his pocket and press the digitate to make it smell like something nice and shove it in his nose. Oh,
It's
It's-
just unsanitary.
yeah, well, yeah, joke's on you, I can't smell it much anymore.
I just shoved my head under my armpit.
Investigation, you begin to hear creaking on the roof.
I'll get everybody's attention without saying anything, and then I'll point to the roof. And then I'll like pull out my spell book. Just be like, there's something up there
What? Where?
on the
Oh.
roof.
I'll walk outside, turn around, and look up at the roof.
Classic.
Duraxis?
Duraxis will go like the other way and see if he could look like back up and kind of see too, but not where Zach is like obviously walking. He's gonna try to do
What
it.
about
I'm-
you,
Yeah.
Lilith?
Oh, I'm actually going to just spider climb up the side of the building and then just peek my head up and see what's up there.
So, Reginald and Zach, as you are staring up at the roof, Duraxis has taken a step back to sort of see what's going on, and Lilith is now like spider climbing up the wall, so that she can climb out the window and see what's going on. The roof collapses on top of you. Duraxis and V, you're both fine. You're out of the way.
Good.
Dexterity saves from the other two, please.
Well, Zach did say he was going to walk out, though, didn't he?
Yeah, I walked out,
Yeah,
turned
so
around, and
it's
looked
just.
up at the
I
roof.
think it's just me.
Oh, so it was just Reginald.
Yeah, I was being a little cautious.
You're like the roof.
Okay.
Can I please have a dexterity saving throw?
You can have 2 for that attitude, because I'm going to use
Oh,
my
wow.
inspiration.
We also have bless.
Oh, well done. Well done.
Oh, yuck.
It's even
That's a
Ouch.
worse.
big yuck.
It's not great.
Let's see. You're going to take 8 damage as the roof just collapses down on top of you. That creaking that you hear, though, was not a creature. It was the
Oh.
weight of something on the roof.
Oh.
And there is now a pile of dead tritons in the middle of the room. And that's what the smell of fish is.
Draxus just throws up.
I hold my breath, dart forward, and begin lifting the rubble up so I can get to Reginald.
Zach, I think I broke something. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah.
You're all right. I'll get you up, Lilith. Could I get your assistance, please? And I'll put my hands under a frame, like the cross frame that would have held the roof up, which is where Reginald is underneath, and I'll just lift that with all of my might so that Lilith can grab Reginald and pull him out.
Yeah, once the roof collapsed, I kind of would have like scurried and like been hanging upside down to look into the window. And then, you know, my ponytail's just like hanging, and I see Zach go over and try to lift this, and I'm like, oh yeah, sure. And I just kind of like scramble inside, and I'll grab Reginald, and I give him a quick once over, and everything kind of looks like it's in place, and then I'll just grab his arm and I'll just like yank him.
Ah! That's my writing arm. No, I'll never write again.
I'm sure you'll write again. You're fine.
All of you, please make me a perception check. Diraxis,
no.
you'll make it at disadvantage, and Reginald will make it disadvantage because you are both either vomiting or in severe pain.
Oh, 16. That's still not bad.
19.
24.
Perception a disadvantage? Let's see.
All right, let's see. Diraxis, you don't see anything. Lilith and Zach, you notice that there are some weird marks on all of the Tritons.
There are some weird marks on all of the Tritons.
Weird
Yeah,
how?
you can investigate if you'd like.
I would like to.
May I give Lilith assistance with that?
You absolutely may.
Thank you for the raid, Alakazam.
Oh my goodness, did we get another one? Hi,
No,
Alakazam.
let's go with these rudes.
Welcome, Raiders. You are fabulous, and we appreciate you. Come on in. We, just so you know what has happened recently, we just escaped from the Demon Web pits. You might want to watch the VOD, because there's some amazing role-playing that has been going on. We took a nice long rest to recover from the adventure, and the roof collapsed because there were a bunch of dead Tritons on the roof, and we are figuring out just what to do with them. What's going on? So join us as we do that. And if you would like to help the players figure things out, please feel free to throw bits or subs or channel points or anything like that, because everything that you do that helps the channel also helps all of the players. Now,
Hell?
I'm providing the help action to Lilith by moving the bodies around so she can get closer and investigate them better.
fabulous. Well, give me a second roll, because that first one is
That
not.
first one was
It's
garbage.
Not great. Oh,
That's,
The
what?
second one was
somehow worse.
Yeah, why are you like? What's going on? Like, why can't you even like look at them?
Honestly, it's the smell. It's
Yeah.
like
Absolutely.
it is just, it's so overpowering, and like it's one thing to have like a freshly caught fish, right? But like when one person has old fish in the market, you smell that for miles, and I have
Yeah.
never liked that smell. And just having that much in this tiny little space, it is a lot.
Gross.
That's why
It's
Diraxis threw up immediately, because if a vampire is overwhelmed by the smell, then
What does that mean?
Now that
What are you
Yeah,
guys
they-
looking
it
at?
shows the smell isn't like a sense that they have as much, right?
Isn't it heightened?
they're heightened.
Is it heightened?
It's heightened.
Yeah.
Alright, never mind. I take it all back.
Pull it
Yeah,
together.
they can. If anything, Lilith can smell the dead fish blood.
Now,
Rancid. It's gross.
as things have been moved around, Diraxis looks over, having finished vomiting all over his shoes.
Oh.
And Diraxis, what languages do you speak?
Great question. Common, Elvish, and Undercommon.
Ah, that's fun. Does anybody else speak Elvish?
Yes.
I speak Elvish. But I would just like to note that I can speak Common, Elvish, and Giant. I can't read any of them because I can't read.
I speak primordial. So
Diraxis, you see that the markings on these bodies, they're not just markings. They are words carved into the flesh of these Tritons. Like their entire torso, one word is carved into each of them.
Before Diraxis gets closer to investigate this, he's gonna pull out a candle from his pack and pinch off some wax and shove it in his nose because the lint is not working as well. And
Right.
he's gonna offer it around to anybody else that wants it, and pass around the candle.
No.
And then he's gonna go and look at and see if he can figure out what the words are, and respectfully move the bodies if needed.
You begin to shift the bodies around, and you see that there are 5 words. The words are mine, will, you, soon, and be.
Yeah, pretty sure this is a threat. I mean,
What? I'm sorry. What is
yeah,
it? What's a threat?
this is. I think it says you will soon be mine, which I don't think is like a trying to be flirty.
What's flirty?
That's a great question. Let's put a pin in that one. We'll circle back around to that. I think someone did this deliberately to us. This isn't a coincidence that bodies are here. How they
Ilmasi?
got here.
I I cannot contain the snark, and I just say, really? You think that perhaps somebody carved these words into the chests of these tritons and put them on top of the building, and you think that maybe that was deliberate? You think that maybe you think?
It looks like it, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. Just
All right. Okay. Thanks. That was really helpful. We love it. Anyway, Tritons. Drax has been there. Does he have a sense of how far away the Triton city is from here?
It's not too far, but you also know the Tritons don't generally like to travel overland.
And sorry, just rewinding back the description. They weren't there obviously before, so they were like dropped there somehow, explicit like, or
Why are you asking me? Did you investigate the roof before you went to bed?
that's fair. I mean, I guess they couldn't have been. They could have been there.
You have no idea when those things got there.
Fair. Okay. Yeah. Okay. First of all, we kind of have to figure out. I mean, we kind of know who
All right,
did this.
I'm gonna move this along. So yeah, that's way too many pauses.
Help!
There's
We don't know what
are
to
you gonna
do.
stay in the house?
It's collapsed.
yeah.
The
Not
walls
gonna
are
miss.
still up. The roof just isn't anymore.
Yeah. Now it's filled with dead fish people. So yeah, I'm probably gonna
Yeah.
gonna leave it.
Yeah.
That smell's gonna be there for a while.
Reginald, you know how
As
we
you
buried
step
them?
outside,
Did they have anything else on them?
no, they're completely naked.
Oh, lovely.
That's an image for you.
Welcome to that
if
gift
if,
chat.
if somebody is saying, "What, you will be mine soon," I think that we might need to move. The further away we move from the others that we've tried to get to safety, the safer they will be. And the less likely these things are to find us.
As you step outside into the sunlight, you see a Triton in the middle of the road. Same situation, naked, dead, word carved into their chest. And as you look down the road towards the entrance of the city, about once every 100 feet or so, there's another one.
Breadcrumbs.
This is quite fucked up, but
Um,
we can't ignore it. I don't think.
as far as traps go, I'd say this one's pretty obvious.
Let's walk in the opposite direction then. And I start walking towards the Triton.
Towards one of the Tritons?
Yeah.
Well, what is the one that we see? Or Dirax is gonna go up and look at the one that is see what it says on his chest.
The word is I, as in me.
Okay. I don't speak Elvish, but once we get that one, I'll run to the next one.
I'll follow you. What does it say?
Am.
Ooh, this one says ham. I'll be taking notes too. I'll be writing them down.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you want to.
Keep
Let's-
going.
Yeah. Okay.
It's, I
just-
mean, it's-
Zach.
yeah.
Learning.
Yeah, I'm moving up.
Okay,
Learning.
learning.
Next.
Fun.
If the next two say new things, what does the next one say?
This.
This.
Mhm.
Okay.
The next
Then-
one says is. And the next one you see is right in front of the gates to the city.
Gulp.
The city of Kalamundra.
No.
Okay.
City of Kalamundra is
I was about to say, I
way,
was
way
like,
far away.
okay,
That's the capital.
What, yeah,
of the
that's what I was
other-
like, what city?
You're in the vampire city.
That's yeah.
Well, it's very nice of you to call it that, given what's left.
That's what I was like. The ruin.
So far, what have you read?
I am learning. Yeah, I am learning. This is
Nope. I am learning fun.
fun.
This is. Do you want to see what's written on the last one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun.
Sure.
I am learning fun. This is fun.
Whoever we met that hates us, they wouldn't know what fun is. Hey, there's a long list of people.
I don't know who you hang out around, but
Who is in the back of the party currently?
have
Probably
Prob-
me.
Probably Zach, because he can't read.
I can't read it.
Yeah.
He's just following everybody up.
Please roll me a wisdom saving throw.
No.
no.
No, I'm gonna pass. I
I
can't.
will use
I can't
my
read.
inspiration.
Oh dear, yeah. It's not
I
great.
will use the legendary resistance that we have.
Alrighty.
Yes,
Yep.
Yeah,
absolutely.
do that.
Easy. No thanks.
What else would you like to do today?
Me or everyone?
Everyone. Nothing has happened. You don't notice anything at all.
Do we see if there are any bodies outside the gate? What's left of it?
Yeah, if we don't see anything, I guess we'll keep trying to look for bodies, because no.
There's nothing outside the gates.
She was here.
I think someone should bring us Dublin the Dragon Tooth
Okay,
Claw.
hold on. I'll be back. I'll get her. She was just by my feet just a few
Are we
minutes ago.
summoning? Are we summoning the golem?
Is that a dog?
Conrad has no
Let's see.
idea what he's just done.
have you not seen the dragon tooth golem?
I don't
Nope.
believe Conrad actually has. No, Conrad
Is it-
is one of QCG's very very favorite people. So
Oh, yay! Yes. In world lore, the Dragon Tooth Golem was created when the Hunters group, before we were joined by two of these fabulous people, got sucked into the astral sea, had to face down an astral dreadnought, and Amber used her abilities and her touchstone to drag the astral dreadnought into the prime material world, which has never happened in the history of the multiverse before, because they cannot exist out here. So suddenly there was a physical astral dreadnought that just died because it couldn't survive in our world. And as they started taking some things apart, suddenly they pulled some of the astral dreadnought's teeth and created a dragon bone golem, which is now the protector of B&B Baubles, which is a shop in Delver's Dream.
Here she is.
And now we have, do you see the terror
Yes.
of the dragon
Be
tooth golem?
afraid.
terrifying,
Ah! Don't bite me! Don't bite me!
terrifying.
Did you see that? Almost died.
Almost died.
Yeah.
died.
Almost died
Draxus
Draxus
again.
has 1 hit point.
Again.
Oh.
So now, I would like to know, what are you going to do?
I mean, there's got to be something, right? They can't. This can't just all be here with nothing. Like,
Is maybe someone's invisible or hiding from us?
I was actually about to
Maybe.
ask, Kyle, do I feel that presence that I felt last night?
A little bit, yeah. Well, a little bit.
In
Is-
like the direction of the bayou again?
You can't tell.
Can't tell. Okay.
It's just, you can sense it. There's something going on there.
You feel like you're being watched.
Is my third eye picking anything up?
Give me the stats for your third eye.
It's the it's my touchstone, but it says that I can't be surprised because it alerts me to dangers and stuff like that.
Okay, I need the exact thing, and I don't have every single thing memorized.
And
Okay.
stuff like that.
And
Yeah.
stuff
Stuff like that is
the,
not useful to me.
the actual description, okay? That's not the right thing. That's my other item. Okay. The eye now alerts the soulbound to danger. The adventurer can never be surprised. And I can see into the ethereal plane. That's all of my
Yep, okay.
extra.
Yeah.
Okay.
So nope, you don't see anything.
Okay. Let me try detect evil and good.
Okay. Fabulous. You may absolutely cast it. Tell me what it looks like when you cast that.
So, for Reginald, what he's going to do is he's going to open his book and he's going to tap it with his pen, and you'll see a pulse come from it, and you feel a little bit of static electricity hit you, and your hair frizzes a little bit as
Yeah.
it sends a wave of energy that pulses out and then comes back.
Yes. What's the range?
30 feet, but it's concentration, so I'll walk around the gate a bit too.
Yep. You don't feel anything.
Not sensing anything.
I mean, you feel it senses good and evil, so you absolutely still feel like the fight that you had with Kilnasi. There was so much concentrated radiance and necrotic energy that you can still feel the essence of that.
What it senses is creatures of a certain type, like celestials or demons and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
I'm
It's
telling
not-
you that this reverberates, but that's all you're
Okay.
getting. You're not getting anything other than the fight that you had. Anybody else? Nothing?
I
Nothing to it?
I'm just gonna walk out the gate.
Sure. Can I please get another wisdom saving throw from you? Let's see how you do this time.
18.
Oh, solid.
18, Mr.
Okay.
DM.
Do you think that succeeded?
I would certainly hope so.
You
Jesus
stop
Christ.
walking. You just stop. You are unable to speak. I am going to need a perception check from the other three.
It's like half my health. 28.
15.
18.
All right. Lilith and
Oh,
Dirax.
sorry. You have bless. I don't know if that. I mean, it's kind of already done, but
You
just-
do have bless.
just for a reminder for next time.
I will allow a bless
Oh.
roll.
Nice.
Dirty 20.
Yeah, no.
Oh, fuck.
The three of you notice that Zach has stopped. Just stopped. They're paralyzed. And you can see Zach slowly bleeding from his ears and his eyes and his mouth.
I'm gonna run forward and grab him and try and like pull him back behind the gate.
Wait, no, don't. We don't know what caused it.
I mean, I definitely do it. I was already doing
okay.
it. I mean, I said I was
Yeah.
doing it, and like I am very fast. Like my walking is 50 feet. Like he gets that
Absolutely.
out, and I'm already
Got it.
reaching and like grabbed onto Zach's shirt.
Yeah, you did it. You dragged them away from that gate. Mm-hmm.
Zach, are you? And I start shaking him, like kind of like smacking his face a little bit. I'm like, Zach, hello.
After a few seconds, Zach comes back.
What happened?
Because
tell
You're
me.
perfect. You were paralyzed. You weren't unconscious. You were very aware of what happened.
Why do I taste metallic in my... Why am I bleeding? Why did I stop
That's a
moving?
good question. Why did you do all of those things?
I don't know. All I did was try to walk out of the town.
Can I do a check to see if I know what kind of spell could have done this? If any magic did this?
You absolutely can. What would you? Let's see. What are you trying to do exactly? You're trying to figure out what spell did it.
Yeah, I'm just going to look for like normal signs for different spells and different effects that I might remember, might recognize.
Sure. Give me an Arcana check.
Check. If it'll roll. There we go. 26.
Ooh,
Oh.
with a 26, you know of a couple of things that would cause this, but you have to be, essentially, they'd have to be close enough for you to see them. If it's that sort of like paralytic thing that's going on, you're thinking like, is it power word stun? Is it, what are the other things that it could be? And you can't think of anything that would allow, like maybe if like they had greater invisibility on them and they were casting a spell, something like that, maybe you could like something like that. But also something like power word stun isn't going to make you bleed like that.
What is it, Reginald?
It's
Is there someone here?
someone would have had to be close enough to cast this spell on him, but I don't see anybody around here, guys. Keep your guards up. They might be invisible. They might. I'm not sure yet.
Thank you
Diraxis.
for the follow, Havoc. Yes.
Diraxis is gonna subtle spell Fairy Fire, right in the middle of the gate, and see if.
Absolutely. What does that look like for Diraxis?
So Diraxis is like, he's not gonna move, and this purple light is just gonna spray down around the area that he's casting in, and just kind of turn to mist and do its fairy fire thingies and search for
Absolutely.
invisible
And
things and people.
as you see this purple mist pop into existence and try to attach itself to things, you see it attached to 4 creatures in this archway. It is 4 little crickets that are just over there. Just
What?
some little crickets.
Crickets?
I cast fireball right away. I'm just.
You don't fuck around with crickets. Okay.
Yeah.
Does Draxus recognize these crickets?
You absolutely recognize them as just crickets. Like there's nothing special about them at all.
Okay.
It's just fairy fire
But-
will attach to any living creature.
Okay. So they weren't invisible crickets. Now visible crickets. Gotcha.
No, they're just highlighted.
Oh, okay. I was like,
Purple.
wait, they're.
Absolutely.
Okay, gotcha.
We are way too paranoid right now for our own good. This is
Okay, I'm
Um,
going to heal up Zach real quick. I'll do a cure wounds on him.
Fabulous.
Oh, thank you.
What would you like to do?
can I turn into mist and see what happens if I try and just I
Yeah.
worry because they won't be able to grab me and pull me back in if I do that. But I also can't be damaged technically as in mist form. So
What does mist form give you exactly?
mist form, let me pull that up for you. It says, while in mist form, the vampire can't take any actions, speak, or manipulate objects. It's weightless, has a flying speed of 20 feet, can hover, and can enter a hostile creature's space and stop there. In addition, if air can pass through a space, the mist can do so without squeezing, and it can't pass through water. It has advantage on strength, dex, and con saving throws, and is immune to all non-magical damage except the damage that it would take from sunlight.
Got it. All right, cool. You may absolutely turn into mist.
I'm trying to figure out your face right now because I don't know if this is a good idea. But yeah, I will do that. I'll just
This
kind
is
of
my GM neutral face. This
I-
is strange and
It's
dry.
it's more terrifying
to
than any
doubt.
other face.
While she turns into mist, I'm going to cast fog cloud over the rest of us.
Absolutely, you are.
Ooh.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's super
Yeah.
fun. Everybody
No,
likes
we're all
fog.
mist.
Well, now I can't see anything.
But in my misty form, I'm going to travel just beyond the gate to right about where Zach was.
Sure. Nothing happens. There are some very cute little purple crickets.
Yeah, yeah, just
They're-
doing
They're
crickety things.
very nice.
Sure.
Yeah, they're just having fun being crickets.
And there's nothing that I can see beyond this space.
I mean, you
Moving-
can see the countryside beyond. You can see that there are towns that are sort of just like there's still smoke rising from them. But it looks like it's been a while since it was burning. You know, like this is all old damage.
Then once I'm in this space and nothing has happened to me yet, I'm going to get out of my mist form. I just kind of like a little swirl kind of happens. It's almost like a cute little tornado kind of thing that like forms and then like it comes up around me and it starts from my feet up and it just like all of a sudden I'm there.
If it starts from your feet up, one thing that I'm going to add is that your hair is always a little mussed.
Oh yeah, a little
when
bit,
that
but you just
happens.
gotta
It gets a little wind blown.
Yeah. just gotta brush it. It's all right. It's fine.
I'm going to move a
You
mask
rolling this dice I just
onto
said-
my face and activate blind sight.
Okay. Who is within the fog cloud right now?
It's going to be me, Diraxis, and Zach.
Okay. Lilith, I'd like a wisdom saving throw from you.
Sure, that makes sense.
Let's see what happens here. Oh dear.
Oh, please.
You know what? I have I have an inspiration, but something tells me it's probably not gonna matter.
Gotta use it. I mean,
I
All
think
right,
you
all
do
right.
what you feel is right. I mean, the chat could help you, but I guess they just don't like Lilith so much.
Yeah, something doesn't tell me that a 12 is gonna be super useful.
someone could gift us. How many gifted subs did we have?
I'll pay for an advantage so you can keep your inspiration.
Oh, thank you. Oh.
All right, Lilith,
Mhm.
you become paralyzed
Mhm.
and take 29 damage.
What type of damage is it?
It is necrotic.
So I have resistance to necrotic damage?
Yep. So you take half damage.
Okay.
And everyone else is in the fog cloud, so they do not see this happen.
Where does fog come from?
I cast it so that way, if there is something
Oh.
invisible, that it's fair playing grounds.
Oh, that's actually quite smart.
Is something trying to stop us from getting out of the town?
I don't know, but you guys stay here. I'm going to check on Lilith. And I peek my head out the fog cloud.
Okay. Okay. I guess.
As you peek your head out of the fog cloud, you see Lilith bleeding from various orifices
Oh my
and
God.
fall to her knees as she comes out of the paralysis.
How far is she?
She's maybe like 10 feet from the fog cloud.
All right, I vortex warp her over here.
Nice.
What do you
Fuck.
think?
Lilith, what happened? Did you see anything over there?
I didn't see anything. I all of a sudden I just took damage. I think it didn't.
I mean, you look hurt.
Are you? Is Zach within the fog cloud?
Yeah,
I am,
but
yes.
but Lilith is not.
I teleported her to us. I'm assuming a little bit here, but I'm gonna pull her into the fog cloud.
You can see as you pull her, as you get her towards you, you can see. What are you wearing right now, Lilith?
I'm not wearing my big cloak. I just kind of have like a shirt. I would have had a little bit of like I would have had yeah.
Is it long
Sorry.
sleeve or short sleeve?
It's long sleeve because sunlight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can see some sort of cut peeking out from the end of one of your sleeves. You noticed it too, Reginald.
I'll pull my sleeve up and take a look at it.
It
As
looks like it
you
came from a
pull-
weapon, right?
Nope. As you continue to pull your sleeve up, you see that it's not just one word. It goes all the way up to your shoulder, and it says, "Now we're having fun together."
Guys.
You don't see that, Diraxis?
Oh.
You're in the fog cloud, as is Zach.
I start I'll actually take off my shirt, my top layer, and I'll just throw it to the side and just is there anything else aside from this one arm that has stuff written all up it? Or is it just this one arm?
Just that nice little. That's nice though, isn't it? I think that's nice.
Sure. It's not.
Are you sure though?
Pretty sure.
Pretty sure. Yeah.
We need to get out of here before we get killed.
What?
You still haven't seen anything.
I'm
Uh,
just
still
saying
in
that
the
from the.
fog.
I'm just saying that from the fog
Yeah,
cloud.
oh yeah, okay,
I
fabulous.
just stood here like, what the fuck are we doing?
I'll kind of like scramble to my feet as I'm kind of like, what the fuck is going on? And I'm just like, guys, this is not. I don't know where the hell we can go right now because I don't like. She's not here, but this is like. I mean, this is her, right? Who do you think?
Oh,
Take
her.
a guess.
The Lich?
Angel
Who's
Lich
outside
thing.
of who's outside of the fog cloud?
No,
Right, I
we're
think
not
everybody's
leaving.
in the fog cloud.
Draxus is scared.
I'm sorry, who is outside of the fog cloud?
Everyone's in the fog cloud, Kyle.
Everyone is okay.
Yeah, everyone.
How long does the fog cloud last exactly?
Fog cloud. I'll look to everybody and I can say, well, this only lasts an hour, so
I sod that. I'm not waiting.
I
I
mean,
walk out the fog cloud.
oh, I say we could leave. If I could see everyone, we could leave if we want to leave.
Can we like
I
daisy
think-
chain ourselves together inside the fog cloud and then just like move?
evasive maneuvers.
If absolutely, if that is what you would like to do, but you still don't know where this is coming from. You don't know what's going on.
Does anyone have any ideas we can figure this out?
But other than me freezing in place, I don't actually know what's going on. So I'm just gonna walk.
I think there's someone with a knife or claws or talons or something.
You notice that you are still Zach, that you're still trailing a little bit of blood, but it looks like it's coming from your pants. Like it's coming from like the bottom of your pants. There's a little sort of trickle of blood following you.
I instantly check to make sure that everything down there is intact.
It is as you begin exploring the area, you do notice that there are marks on one of your legs.
I was wondering where you were going with that. Thank you for saying legs.
Yeah.
What the hell?
I'm sure Zach is delightful, but I'm pretty sure only his legs can handle a full sentence. Like,
Yes. I've got some strange markings appearing on my legs.
Oh.
If there's anybody out there who wants to have a conversation about these, the graffiti that you're putting on our bodies, please come out now. I'm not going to hurt you, I swear. Hand on heel.
As you begin talking, please make me a wisdom saving throw.
I would really rather not do that, but I will.
No.
We all make choices, Joshua.
That's an
Me too.
bless. That's a
Yeah.
There's a bless. That's a 21.
Yeah. So as you're asking people to, check out what's going on with your leg, you're asking them to do that.
And if anybody's out there that'd like to expose themselves to us, so we can have a nice friendly chat, please do.
Can
I would
Draxus
rather
read
nobody
the writing?
expose themselves to us if that's fine.
There's Diraxis can if you can see the entire leg, you can definitely read the writing.
I will drop my trousers if I have to.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I guess it's necessary. It says.
It says, I wonder how much fun I can have with you.
I really don't like whatever is
Yeah,
toying
I
with us
mean-
right now.
Okay. What do you think is tormenting us? Like, let's put our heads together real quick and just take a guess. Just wild guess.
Can I look at the wounds and see if it looks like it's a weapon, if it's claws, if it's
You may each make me a few checks. Let's
Okay.
see sort of like as you are brainstorming this, let's see what direction
let's
this
put
goes.
our heads together.
Figure this
So-
out.
You can everybody can give me a medicine check to see sort of what kind of wounds they are. Everybody can give me an investigation check to see if they notice anything strange about them. Everybody can give me an Arcana check, and everybody can give me a religion check to see what kind of magic it might be. I will allow you a few moments
That's a
to
lot of
make
chicks.
those rolls. And while
Yeah.
they are making those rolls, I would like everybody to hit exclamation point raffle so that you can get your own rolls taken care of with
There we
Phoenix.
go.
I want to write down my rolls.
That was a
because it's a
top tier
mess.
segue.
I do what I can. Now, tell me, when it comes to medicine, did anyone get above an 18?
Yes,
I got-
sir.
I got
Two
18.
people
Fabulous.
got
Nope.
23.
You see that it is perfectly straight. There's no jagged edges at all. There's no way that this could have been created by any sort of weapon. Who rolled higher than a 21 in investigation?
27.
All
It's
right.
not even with bless or anything.
As you look at this, and you are told that this is not a weapon strike, you begin checking out what's going on, and you notice that there is actual necrosis, like at the very base of these wounds, and you can tell that this is some sort of necrotic magical damage.
Narrowing it down.
Who got higher than a 23 in Arcana?
25.
You know,
Solid.
based on all of these things, there is no spell you have ever heard of that can do what this thing, whatever this effect is, seems to be doing.
There's no body right spell?
There is not, sadly. I
Oh.
will make no. There is. And who got above a 25 in
Oh,
religion?
Got 20.
I'm 17.
Did anybody get a critical success on religion?
I could roll again, but I don't think.
Yeah, I'll give you advantage. Go ahead. Go for it.
I'll try again.
Do it. Do it.
I want to know. Can you show me?
That critical hit.
I got a 25 exactly.
A 25, exactly what you needed.
Yay!
Very nice.
Woo!
You recall that in your book that taught you how to, that had all the necromantic spells in it, there were some references to a place called the negative energy plane. Not much, but you know one thing about it. If anyone goes to the negative energy plane, immediately a creature is born on the prime material plane.
Oh my.
You don't know what it's called. You don't know what it does exactly. You know that it is astonishingly deadly. And it hates all life. It is here only to snuff it out. That is what you know. You can tell that this one is newly birthed because it is just learning how to speak on this plane. What would you like to do?
I don't know what exactly this thing is, but it sounds fucking evil. So I'd say that we'd be better off in close quarters and not out in the open in the middle of this road.
Can we even fight it? We can't even see it. Is that even a play?
Does
All I know
anybody
is
have
that-
the ability to see invisible things?
Yeah. If they're close enough.
Yeah, but they don't need to be close enough to write on our bodies.
Listen, all I'm saying is we're way better off away from out in the open. Anybody disagree?
What, so we're just going to sit in the fog cloud?
No, I'm saying we go into a building.
There are no buildings. They're all flat. The only building that's left is the one that has their trident in.
Was it
Right.
true?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
We could leave.
Yeah, anywhere's better than here.
We'll have to put up with this thing following us, I suppose, until it reveals itself. And then maybe we can have a pleasant conversation with it. Hand on hilt.
Reginald,
Yes?
could I please have a wisdom saving throw from you?
No, you can't.
No?
Because
Okay.
you're evil.
It's true.
18. What's bless? A D4?
D4. Ooh. Yeah, you're fine. You guys can keep talking.
Just say
Do
the word.
whatever.
Just say the word, and we'll go anywhere we want. We don't have to be here. Okay.
The word. I
Um,
mean, how many times do I have to... The
Okay,
word,
okay. Where do we want to
the
go?
word.
Where do we want to go?
Let's go
Somewhere
to
safe.
the
Do you know
mountain.
anywhere safe?
Yeah, I mean, kind of. I mean, it would have been Delver's Dream, but.
Okay, take us there.
I mean, I can't go quite there.
I slap him. Just
Oh,
go!
Okay. Drex is like panicking.
Draxus, please make me a wisdom saving throw.
God, it's so true. 6.
Ooh,
Oh, God.
yeah.
That's a very evil laugh.
How dare you?
Those rolls were like half my hit points.
We are the same level, aren't we?
I'm
As-
level 11 and I have 57. I'm so scared right now.
You are
Holy-
going to take
Holy
43 damage. As this happens, everyone else around you, you literally see Diraxus's cheeks and forehead and scalp just start to separate on its own as the sentences start writing themselves across his body. Reginald, you can read, playthings shouldn't leave, but playthings should run.
I mean, greater invisibility. I'm out. Fog cloud's gone. Like, sorry guys.
The fog cloud dissipates in the slight breeze.
So much for working together as a team. Right.
Okay,
I turn and look at Zach, and I just like, peace, and I just like spin around, and I'm just like, poof, just missed.
Draxus is Draxus still
hey.
paralyzed?
Nope.
Okay, Draxus is gonna be like, reach over towards Zach, and twin cast greater visibility on both of them.
Okay.
At least somebody will work with me.
Sorry?
I'd like a wisdom saving throw from you, Lilith. Would you
Oh.
like a saving throw? Oh dear.
Well, hold on, because I was given advantage a little bit ago.
Yeah.
By Cotton Candy Unicorn 83. So I'm going to go ahead and try that again.
Yeah, let's do that.
God damn it.
Oh dear.
Stop it, you monster.
Lilith.
But wait, what? Huh. So 19 for the for the first roll.
No, you take half of 45 necrotic damage. And
Great.
you become paralyzed as the fog. So in front of everybody else, it seems like the fog turns into like ice crystals and you just start to snow onto the ground.
I'm sorry, that's such a cute image.
Not the time.
Like it's terrifying, but also just like chink, 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 just like little snowfall. It's adorable.
Mhm. Are you all still gonna hang around?
I'm out. I
No!
left.
No,
No,
I am. Yes,
We're
fucking
leaving.
Going.
We're leaving.
Where are you going?
Anywhere.
Anywhere but here.
Anywhere but here.
I'm picking a direction and gone.
Fabulous.
I mean the guys talked about heading towards the mountain, right? So I figure maybe if they're heading to the mountain, that's where we should go.
Absolutely.
So
are you
and
are you heading? So you're heading towards the mountain, towards Kalamundra Mountain, which is the volcano where the capital is, where Kilnasi is, or okay, fabulous.
that's and just for your reference, unfortunately, knowing that this can happen to me even while I'm missed, I'm gonna turn back into my normal form because I'm much faster on my feet than floating through the air.
Fabulous.
That's kind of unfortunate.
Once I do find somebody, because of course I can't read Elvish, and this jerk doesn't write in Primordial for some reason. I'll have to check and see, because I'm assuming another sentence appears somewhere on my body.
This time it doesn't. This
Rude.
time you get a symbol.
A symbol. What symbol?
You are the only one that would recognize this symbol.
Great.
It is the coat of arms of House Kilnasi.
Sure, of course it is. All of this tracks.
But you also recognize that it's not the current coat of arms. This is the coat of arms from 1,000 years ago, the most ancient version of it.
Great.
And as you all are running, occasionally some sort of animal might jump out of the bushes, startled by you moving. At one point, several birds simply fall out of the sky directly in front of you. Now with writing in common instead of in Elvish.
I still can't read it.
Nope, you sure can't. Generally, they are thoughts that are starting to evolve quickly, as though what was being written before was written by a child, and these are starting to become a bit more complex. All of the messages that you are getting tell you to go to Kalamundra. Kilnasi is waiting for you. What would you like to do?
Go to Kalamundra because Kilnasi is waiting for us.
Yeah, I mean, eventually, because I assume I'm faster than everybody else. So eventually, I'm gonna stop like running full speed. Just because I don't know where the guys are. Like they're invisible. I
Yeah.
can't see them.
Yeah, that's the downside, is we can't really see any of each other.
Yeah, I mean, you
I'm-
guys can see me because I'm not invisible. I'm just here. So
I-
I'm pretty much just gonna start like shouting.
I would have followed around by Lilith probably.
I would assume that as soon as Diraxus went to cast greater invisibility on both of us, seeing how knackered he was, I would have picked him up under my arm and would have been running with him under my arm the
That's
entire
good.
time.
That's good because
Fabulous.
Diraxus wouldn't be able to run very far.
So yeah, eventually I'm just gonna start
You
Like-
run.
ollie ollie oxen free.
You run for hours. Things dying all around you. Little messages. Some of them start developing into little pictures. As you look behind you, you can see just everything littered with corpses.
She has to be stopped. It has to be stopped. This whole thing has to be stopped.
Yeah. How long are you going to run?
If we were
I
running
mean-
for hours, my invisibility would have faded, so
It's sure
Lilith will see
did.
me.
Now.
I'll run until the others stop.
Well, you are carrying Diraxus. So what I'm going to say is that Lilith does not get tired. Ever. Because she is a vampire. Reginald, on the other hand, is a bookworm. Please roll me a Constitution check.
Here we go.
For hour 1, the Constitution check is 10, and it will go up by 1 every hour. So,
He made it
Bless.
about 45 minutes.
it's just
Bless.
well, there's your bless. There's your bless. Okay. So you made it through. So with that boost, thank you, audience. With that boost from the audience from that hype grade, you managed to keep running. You start feeling really bad, but you managed to keep going, even though you're feeling terrible. Once we hit hour 2, Zach, I'd like a Constitution check from you and a Constitution check from Reginald.
Is everyone visible?
17.
No.
Instead
Fine.
of that, I'm going to cast my steed, and I'll be riding on the steed.
Oh,
I can.
okay. How long does that last?
That is a ritual spell, and I'm not stalling. It's yeah.
As you try to cast this ritual spell, please make me a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Don't like you, Kyle.
Nobody does, and I'm okay with it.
At least you're honest.
You're resigned to your fate. Yeah.
Mhm,
Dear.
mhm.
Oh dear. Anybody want to help him out?
Anyone? Anyone?
No? Okay.
I mean, he just disappeared without any sort of assistance, so no.
That's right. Make choices. You take 29 damage and are paralyzed in the middle of the spell, so it's
As
fizzled.
the effect starts, the eyes on my mask glow green, and it doesn't take effect.
Oh, what is this?
That is the legendary resistance.
Ooh, very nice. So you continue, and how it takes 10 rounds to
Mhm.
cast.
I can just cast a reaction as an action as a once a day
Oh, fabulous! All right, then you've got
because
your
I'm a
steed.
scroll. Yeah.
So I'm guessing the great invisibility is worn off, right?
It has. Yeah.
All right, Thraxus is gonna be like, "You just want to go to the gates? That where we're going?"
What
Right,
gate?
his accents are gone. Is gone. The
What?
gates of Kalamundra. Like
You're
that's where we're
already
running.
You've already spent 2 hours running to Kalamundra being carried by Zach. Like this.
Draxus is just gonna touch his head, or not even touch his head. He's gonna subtle spell this because he's afraid that whatever the fucking thing is chasing him is gonna do something to him. He's gonna subtle spell teleport and teleport us.
So is teleport a spell or is that an effect of an item?
Let me see. I think the item grants me the ability to cast a spell. Let me just double check. It says you can, as an action, you can expend it to cast the teleport spell from it.
Okay. As an action, all right.
I don't know how you want to rule that, but
you may subtle spell that.
Okay. And Draxus is gonna I can't believe I'm fucking saying this. Draxus is gonna teleport us, all 4 of us.
Do you have to be touching for everyone?
No, I have to be able to see. That's why I didn't do it earlier with the invisibility. As soon as we all turned invisible, I would have done it. But
where are you going?
Close to Kalamundra. Close to Kalamundra. Part of it's gonna be kind of wonky anyway. That's kind of he's not in the best mental space, so close to Kalamundra. Whatever kind of rolls we got to do to figure out exactly where he lands it, but
absolutely,
he's never been there. So
you land about, I'm gonna say about 10 miles outside of Kalamundra. Like you can see the walls of the city. The volcano is bright in your vision. As you look around, you see just piles of animals and corpses arranged along the road. They're just arrows pointing to Kalamundra.
Not very subtle.
No, he's not known for subtlety.
Okay, we're here. Yeah. Sorry, I haven't been doing very well. I would have done that earlier had I thought of it. Sorry about the running part. Yeah, and he looks specifically at Zach, who carried him while they were running for 2 hours, and looks at him with like the "I'm so sorry" eyes. And
it's fine. You were gracious enough to cast a spell to help us get away, so I'm happy with that. I was happy to carry you.
Okay, we're here. Now what?
Have you all stopped?
No, let's keep going.
Yeah, we'll keep running towards the gates, the walls,
the
volcano.
It's going to take you a while to go 10 miles.
Go as far as I can until I can't move anymore. It feels or until the others.
If you're running, it will be Diraxis, can you teleport a magical mount?
I believe I can teleport items. Let me double check.
Well, it's not an item. It's a magical effect.
Does
it say,
probably semantics. Let me double check.
Does it stay attached to you, Mike?
Yeah, let me see.
Instantly teleports 8 willing creatures of your choice, so you can see, or a single object that you
horse-like creature. Yeah.
Okay, so it's a creature. All right, fabulous. So you still have your mount. That's good. So Zach is really the only one that is in danger of becoming exhausted.
And I can travel 10 miles in an hour on this thing.
Zach, you're still running?
Yep. If everybody else is, I am.
I'm going to need, every 2 miles, I'm going to need an exhaustion check from you. Which means we're going to start, since you're not exhausted at all, but you have been running for 2 hours at this point. I am gonna need a DC 12 to start. Let's see. Just a Constitution check, not a saving throw.
Is he still carrying me?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Can I cast Featherfall on myself to make myself light, even lighter than I already am? Or is that not how that works?
I mean, Featherfall only lasts, I want to say, a couple rounds, right?
Oh
It
yeah,
lasts,
that's totally true. That's
So-
like
Oh,
that's
they got
super
really light.
negligible.
That's really heavy.
probably the adjustment would be worse
So-
than the break.
right. What did you roll for your Constitution check, good sir?
8.
An 8. You have gained
Oh,
one
I'm
level
gonna
of
give you
exhaustion.
advantage.
Oh, well then let's try that again, please. Shall we?
5.
All right, you have gained one level of exhaustion. You now have disadvantage on pretty much all your rolls.
Disadvantage on skill checks, I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were close. I could teleport us right up to the gate. I think.
Yeah, if you could do that, that'd be helpful.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
Diraxis, you are dropping the ball.
yeah. Yeah, I guess we'll all just teleport right up to the gate. I'm gonna subtle spell it again because Diraxis is paranoid as shit.
Absolutely. As you teleport close to the gates, there are a few things you notice. You notice that even if you tried, you would not be able to teleport inside the city.
Yeah, he's the one.
There's some sort of field,
It's scary.
and it's interacting with you. Secondly, you see that along the walls, dozens of orcs and changelings are hanging there by their wrists, still alive. As you approach, one of them begins to scream. You see writing appear all along their body. Mercifully, it dies. But the sentence that it writes is, "My brother told you to run,"
No.
as the gates to
Fuck.
Calamundra open.
Good.
oh, now there's 2 of them.
What do you do?
Go into Calamundra.
As you step into Calamundra, you see the glory of the capital city of Nonked, set on the foothills of a giant volcano. The city streets laid out at perfect right angles, a grid from the gate to the palace. The buildings sweeping and spired, perfectly crafted, each amplifying the beauty of the next from each angle. So no matter where you stand in the city, it looks like a perfectly completed puzzle. Lilith, you must shield your eyes. The city is painted white, shining, brilliant, capturing the colors of the lava flows. You can only imagine how glorious it would be at any given sunset. You see a touch of decay here and there, but it's recent. Where will you go? Nowhere. You're just gonna stand there. That's what's gonna happen.
Let's duck behind
Here
a
you go.
alleyway or something at least.
Yeah, because I'm sure getting out of the way will help us. But sure. Moving seems like our best bet. I don't think, I mean, we can move, but try and stick to alleyways, try and stick behind buildings, but I don't think stopping and standing is going to be the correct move here.
Yeah, definitely. Let's go.
I think our best route is straightforward. And I think this is what these creatures want us to do: is get to the castle as soon as possible.
So who's gonna go where?
No, we're sticking together. There's no way we're splitting it.
Yeah.
I
Are
mean,
you
yeah,
ducking
if
down the
Zach,
alley, or are you following the main path?
We don't know this place. We
Oh,
can
fuck
see
the
where
main
the castle is. I'm following the main path.
Yeah.
Unless anybody else knows the city, following the main path to where we can see is going to
No,
be the best option.
Let's ask for directions. How about we stop and get a map or something? You know, like see where all of their local celebrities live. You know, let's.
That's a very good idea.
Yeah. Before you do that, though, I need to know: do you duck down an alley, or do you head up the main path?
the one question I have before that, do I know this city enough to insist on the pathways or like the alleyways?
Make me a history check. Let's see how often you have been to Kalamundra.
Dirty 20?
Absolutely, you've been here many times. You don't know the city like inside and out, but you absolutely know the best ways to get to major points of interest.
Great. Then as Zach starts talking about the main ways, I just kind of grab him by his collar, and I'm just like, no, trust me, I can get us to where we need to go without being super obvious about it.
I mean, you could have just said that you've been here before. Then I would have been like, okay, let's go your way.
Oh my god. And I let him go and I just start walking.
Thank God. I hate playing tourist.
As you begin walking off the main street, you see that the alleys are surrounded, like on either side, you've got buildings that go up for 5 or 6 stories. And it's brighter in the alley than you're sort of used to because everything is white, so it just reflects all of the light bouncing everywhere. And once you get about 15 feet into the alley, you see what looks like just a huge wall of like dark smoke begin to cross in front of you at the end of the block of that alley. And you realize that it's not smoke. It is the leg of one of these creatures. You see it slowly step into view. 20 feet of it, 25 feet of it, about 30 feet high, about 3 stories of it, standing in front of you. It looks down at you all. Who's in the front?
Me.
I'd like a wisdom saving throw.
Of course you do.
I do. I like those. I think they're fun.
That
Oh,
is nat
20.
20.
Wow.
You feel your skin starting to separate. But you know this game now. You can tell where it's coming from. You fight back. You can feel the energy of your touchstone saying, you want to play necrotic? Let's play radiance. I would like you to make me another wisdom saving throw.
Sure.
You may do this one with advantage.
Great. Let's see if I can beat. Yeah. So I'm gonna take my first one. 19.
Plus.
With
Oh,
a 19.
still-
Ooh, yeah.
Still blessed. Okay. Yeah. Great. Let's make it a little bit better. 21.
21. Your touchstone reacts to this pure darkness. Because your touchstone is a touchstone of opposing forces, you watch this sort of stream of light bounce back at this thing. 21 feet of its height is gone as it is blasted with radiance. You see it fall to the ground, though it very quickly begins to reform. And you can sense that now that you know how to deal with this, it will not be able to do this to you again.
Good.
What are you going to do?
Finally, a tour guide. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry we took so long. You know, thank you for coming. While I'm talking, I'm going to summon my mind, the mind of my book behind it, and it's going to go up, and I'm just going to say thank you so much. I mean, we're so lost. Look how far into the city we've got to. And it's going to go up, put its hand on this thing, and I'm going to cast inflict wounds at 6th level with, and I'm going to change the element to lightning.
Okay, fabulous. As soon as you get within 30 feet of it, I'm going to need a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, I'm not moving. The thing I have is moving.
Does it have stats?
It does not.
So it is both it cannot be targeted?
I don't believe so. It's the manifest mind. Let me see if I can.
I think a manifest mind actually does have like some stats to it.
Did it pop up in the CCT thing?
Oh yeah.
Let me see. All right, so
Oh, that's the
And-
cast spell thing.
yeah. So
Dang it.
I'm going to say that the manifest mind can in fact be affected by things. It's the same way that like a familiar or a mage hand can be affected by the world around it as they carry spells or effects. So
This is it.
yeah.
Oh.
Give it to me, Mike. Dead air.
It's
You're killing me
intangible
here.
and doesn't occupy space.
Okay. So there is, all right, so then that's fine. And it can carry the spell for you.
Yes.
All right, roll me damage.
Okay. Actually, I don't need to because it's just going to do max damage.
That's fun.
Yeah. So 80 lightning damage.
80 lightning damage.
Yes,
That's
and I ignore resistance.
fun. I like it. I like it. You ignore resistance. All right, cool. Anything else you'd like to do?
Guys, fucking do something because this thing is going to kill us now, and I'm going to try and like duck back behind Zach or something.
Ah. All right.
If you've got radiant damage, it's a good time to use it. Just heads up.
If because you attacked it, we are now going to go into initiative. If everybody could please roll me a little bit of initiative on that.
Where's my character? I gotta
Oh,
click this
God.
one.
23.
Ah,
Oh,
that's
Lord.
right.
This is-
Yeah. Yeah.
18.
This is what you get for being a murder hobo.
Murder hobo. It's been torturing us for hours.
Yeah, I mean that's a little
Has it?
unfair.
Yeah.
Has this one been torturing you?
The other one.
Oh no. Oh man.
Let's now I don't want to make anybody nervous.
No, that's impossible.
No? You don't want to? No.
Are you joking?
No.
Are you
You
joking?
don't want to don't want to make
What the-
anybody nervous.
What
the
is that,
hell was that
Kyle?
for?
What is that?
Nothing. It's nothing. It's nothing.
No,
Don't worry
I
about
think
that.
it's definitely something.
I don't know what you're talking about. You're crazy. You're just talking crazy now. Is what you're doing. Let's see. I'm gonna do that. Okay, so it's been blasted, so it'll be a little difficult for it to do a bunch of stuff. It looks like Reginald. It is it's your turn.
It's my turn? Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, you had a surprise round on it.
Okay. This sucks, guys. Can we agree on that? This sucks. I'm going to cast Sanctuary on myself and then firebolt this thing.
Okay, fabulous.
Well,
Wait, what?
no, I guess not. I don't know. Hold my action to do something besides that, I guess. I'll hold my action.
Okay. All right. So you put Sanctuary on yourself. I'm gonna need because we are now hitting narrative combat because we do not have a whole lot of time. So tell me, what does this look like?
Oh,
All right,
me still? Is it
it's your
still
turn.
me?
So next
I thought I was
we have
it.
so we're gonna try something a little different with this because we are so short of time. In turn, each of you will have 10 seconds to give me the description of one thing that you are doing, and then immediately the next person will go. If you don't go immediately, you will lose your turn. Lilith, 10 seconds. It's on the ground. It's just been attacked by lightning.
Yep.
What do you do?
I am going to activate my planar touchstone. I am going to imbue myself and it with opposing energies. I am going to fill what is
what opposing energies?
I'm asking because I actually don't know the answer to this. What is like the closest thing to like a radiant sort of planar energy that I can imbue myself with?
Positive?
Positive energy plane.
Great, then I'm gonna do that. Obviously he's negative energy plane, so it doesn't really make any changes to him, but he's negative, I'm positive.
Fabulous.
And if we interact, something's gonna happen.
Yes, something crazy is going to happen. As you are drawing on the positive energy plane, you start feeling weaker as this radiant energy goes completely against your undead nature. And you watch as this thing starts pulling itself together even more as it feeds on darkness. Diraxis.
Nope, that's Zach.
Hmm?
That's Zach.
That's me.
Zach's next.
I've got Diraxis at 6. Oh, is that an old one?
I'm
Maybe
at 16.
I'm 11.
Okay,
I'm at 11.
there we go. Zach.
I charge forward, I rage, I draw my sword, I swing it around in an arc motion, and I bring it down on it. If it's laying down, I'm going to attack it as many times as I
As
can.
soon as you get within 30 feet of it, you take 23 damage.
What type of damage? Necrotic?
It is.
Okay, I have no resistance to that, but I am going to rage and I'm going to attack it. A lot of
Also-
times.
You also have haste.
Yeah.
Oh, we got some haste. Fabulous. Next, Diraxis.
Diraxis like screams and it's like, God, we're gonna die, and he's gonna reach out and he's going to just try to cast hold person, and these shackles of light are gonna come and try to shackle around this creature coming from above and the ground and just try to hold it in place.
You see this creature reach up and grasp one of those chains, and you watch as darkness begins to come back through the chain towards you.
Draxus is gonna let go of the spell.
You see a little spark of darkness fizzle as that happens.
He's gonna back up like 15 feet, just in like, without thinking about it, just like, holy
You see the
fuck.
creature reach out towards Zach and grasp Zach in its claws. Zach, you are going to take another 18 necrotic damage. You are lifted. You watch as this creature gets larger and larger and larger, empowered by the input of all of this darkness into it. It lifts you with one of its hands over its head. Reginald, what are you going to do?
I'm going to look at my manifested mind, and I'm going to have it move away from the creature and cast Spirit Guardians at 5th level.
Fabulous. What do they look like? What form do they take?
So as it takes
10
in
seconds.
this spell energy, it pulses out with these bright white lights, and then they start taking form, and they look like small angels with a shield and dagger in hand as they look directly at this monster.
As that happens, this sphere of light suddenly appears. The monster screams and drops Zach. Zach, you are going to take 5d6 falling damage unless you've got something else. Got anything?
Me? Nope, I got nothing.
All right. 16 falling damage as you slam into the ground inside this sphere of the Spirit Guardians. Lilith.
I am raging, so I'll take half.
Fabulous. Lilith.
Realizing my mistake, can I call upon my touchstone to swap the energies? So instead of him being filled with negative, it's now he's filled with positive? Because
Now you
crap,
can.
I obviously fucked that up.
That's a oops.
Absolutely,
mad.
you can. And you, as this happens, you see a resonance pop up between the positive energy and the Spirit Guardians. This radiance starts creating a sort of static effect as it just reaches out and starts just stinging this giant shadow. Zach.
I do what Zach do best. I run in and I start hacking at it again. As all Zach can do, I'll dance around it and slash it as much as I can.
At this point, you seem to be slightly protected because the Spirit Guardians' radiance seems to be stopping this immediate necrotic damage that you get every time you get close to this thing.
I
So
move.
tell me,
I
how many
dance
attacks
within.
do you do?
I will do 3 because I've got haste, so I'll do 3 actions darting around. I'll stay within the Spirit Guardians, and I'm refusing to use my planar touchstone in any way, shape, or form. I know I could probably seal this thing in a cage, but I'm not going to.
Absolutely. As you begin to slash at it, you notice that it starts to wane. It seems like your slashing is actually having some sort of effect. Daraxis.
The thing's like 30 to 40 feet tall or something like that.
30 feet
Okay.
tall.
Daraxis is going to reach back his hand, and a mote of fire is going to appear, and he's going to shoot it, and he's going to have it detonate like 30 feet in the air, right centered on the creature's head. Well, not centered, maybe like higher up.
That
gonna
is
try
so a
to
big fireball.
Shoot its head. Yep.
Awesome. I love it. As that goes off, you see this creature get knocked back and begin to fall down. As it does so, you see it insanely quickly. So much quicker than you think a creature this tall should be able to move. It does a backflip, and you see its head beginning to regrow as the fireball had blasted it off. Reginald.
I'm going to have my my manifested mind look at it, and it's going to just look up and cast a third level fireball directly at it because it jumped away from us. So
Ooh,
I mean,
another one. All right, fabulous. So as the first one goes off, this thing does a backflip to try to avoid the worst of the damage. You place your fireball directly behind it, throwing it into the spirit guardians.
and this
Lilith.
fireball is going to be bright
Lilith.
white and
Stop.
be radiant.
Lilith.
I would like to try and rush forward to a point where Zach is at least 30 feet away from me.
Absolutely.
And then I am going to I'm gonna punch at the bastard. I don't know. I guess let's see if that works. If I can punch darkness. But
I'm going
I would
to
like
say what you can do is you start interacting with the spirit guardians with that shield as well. You can actually run up it if you want to, but that will wait for next time. Zach.
As Lilith runs towards me, I provide my sword as a counterbalance for her to hop off. And as she hops, I'll throw her so she can get a bit of height. As this thing backflips, I'll be stood on its foot and I'll flip up into the air with it. And as Lilith goes for her down punch, I'll go for a down sword strike.
Absolutely. As this is all being set up, Diraxis, what do you do?
Oh, Rex is gonna do a fucking classic. He is gonna twin spell, polymorph, and turn both of them into blue whales and crush that fucker.
Okay. All right.
This is going to be such a cool combo.
As you do this, you see Zach flip Lilith up into the air. And then follow her as he jumps as high as he can. You both become giant whales. And Lilith, will you please read from your planar touchstone what happens when you come into contact with people?
Everyone within 30 feet of the contact point must make a DC 17 Wisdom saving throw or take 8d10 psychic damage.
So, if you wouldn't mind, everyone except Reginald, please give me a Wisdom saving throw.
Wait. Oh, Kazdieb, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome, Raiders.
Oh my gosh.
Can I do a reaction?
Oh, yay. Welcome, 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 welcome. You are catching us right at the end of this. We are in the middle of a very fast-paced narrative combat right now. So, but everybody hit exclamation point raffle if you want to win some fabulous Phoenix dice today. So, absolutely, jump on in. Now, it looks like, Zach, you have succeeded. Lilith, you have not.
Nope.
Diraxis. Damn. Wait, are you, Diraxis, are you close? No, you'd be out of that range too, wouldn't you?
Okay,
It's only 30 feet.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know.
So it's 30 feet. Okay, so it's just the two of you having been turned into whales by Diraxis and falling down on top of this thing.
Yep.
So, Lilith, what happens if you fail this wisdom saving throw?
You take 8d10 psychic damage.
And is there a secondary effect? Something having to do with maybe getting plane shifted?
Yes, but only for the two creatures that are energized. So both creatures who are energized have a 50% chance to avoid all damage. But if they do, they are immediately sent to the opposing plane.
Fabulous. So could you please roll me a percentile dice?
What?
Can I cast a reaction?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to cast Silvery Barbs and give it disadvantage and give Lilith advantage.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Lilith absolutely makes it. Because this thing is getting pounded with so much radiant damage, I'm going to say it just automatically fails. So Lilith, please, how much is it? It's 8d10, you say?
8d10, I do say, unfortunately.
You take 48 damage, psychic damage.
Ouch.
And this thing disappears. Now, because you now know what this thing is, Reginald, and because you got such a high score, because you learned everything that you needed to about this thing, you are not surprised when a changeling appears in its place, crying and screaming, knowing that the only way to bring someone back from the negative energy plane is if the creature that you just fought, that is attached to the thing, goes back. These creatures can only be summoned by sending a person to the negative energy plane, and that person can only come back if it returns. So, since you had connected it to the radiance, which is the positive energy plane, it went to the opposite plane, the negative energy plane. And this changeling that was apparently sacrificed in order to summon it is now back. Trapped within the city of Kalamundra on the side of the volcano, have you just found an ally in your fight? Or will they wait and immediately try to murder you? We will find out next time on Hunter's Harvest.
Dude,
Oh my
fucking
god!
god. Okay.
Hey.
Sudden music
That
change.
was
I need
insane.
this. I need this.
Is it a good
God,
time to
that's
mention
sudden.
that I passed the fuck out?
Yeah,
I'm unconscious
no,
right now. Is that a
figured-
good time to mention it?
Oh god.
I figured
Well,
there's a
those
passed out
those
vampire.
hit points
Yeah,
would have come off of the whale.
absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Good
I
times.
think you're good.
Now, everybody, please hit ! raffle so that you can get some fabulous Phoenix dice today. And while you are doing that, we're going to do our favorite moments. Hey there. Hey, vampire lady. What was your favorite moment?
Gosh, I don't know. There were so many good ones. This
Oh, God.
this was so wonderful from top to bottom.
Really, it was
Truly
just like a
truly
little
a great
tea party.
time.
It was nice.
Gosh, I don't know. I
God.
really loved using the fog cloud actually
Right.
to try and keep us safe, even though it
That was
didn't
awesome.
work out in the end. I thought it was really smart.
Well, just
It would have
FYI,
been good.
the reason that it didn't end up working out is not because of the fog cloud.
Yeah,
It's
because
because when you started shouting, when Zach started shouting, then the thing could identify where it was,
Sure.
where Zach was. Yeah.
That makes sense. But yeah, I liked the mystery surrounding all of that too. I thought that was really, really like, what's happening? It really
That
felt
was-
like it made me really anxious, but like in a good way.
Good.
Yeah.
It really was super fun to do.
Oh,
And
good.
just-
I'm glad you had fun, Kyle.
The reason that you couldn't see them is because that ability that they kept using on you has a 300-foot range.
Yeah.
Ew,
I was about to
gross.
say, I remember us reading about
Yeah.
that last
Yeah,
week,
last
Kyle.
week, Kyle. So fucked up.
Ah,
Jesus Christ. The other
Like,
thing
the
about those
moment-
creatures is if you die, the only way you come back is if you go to
With-
0 hit points.
yeah.
Zero hit
You
points.
die. You're zero.
The only way you come back is with a wish spell. And I was
Yeah.
like, okay, I guess, because one
Wow.
hit took me to 14, and I was like, I guess Kyle just really wants to fucking kill us.
Yeah. And when I realized, I was like, Kyle's freaking evil.
Yeah, I was
What
like,
the heck
holy
is going
shit.
on?
This is,
dog.
so
Kyle woke up and chose violence today,
He
you guys.
did.
I did. And you know why? Do you know why?
I can't imagine.
It had nothing to do with us.
Because.
Oh, because, yeah.
'Cause it's
Period.
Fun.
Yeah.
That's the whole sentence. Is just because.
you know-
Period.
Did you know that this day ends in Y? It sure
I did.
does.
I did. I did. Yeah.
I want to hear from Mike. Mike, what's your favorite moment?
Oh God, when we were being chased and like dead animals were falling around us, that was pretty great,
Yeah, I
right?
love that. That was
No,
great.
honestly though, when we were like arguing and like bonding also in the beginning, that was pretty nice.
I love
you
that.
know?
I loved that. And chat, please let me know what your favorite moments were from today. Were there things that creeped you out? Were there things that you thought were delightful? I'm sure most of it was just sweet, nice, and puppy dogs and kitty cats and loveliness. But if there were some other things, let me know. I'd love to hear. Hey, Duraxis, what about you? What was your favorite moment?
God. I like the moment with Zach. That was cool.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
That was lovely.
That was fun.
Zach
Right
showed
before
that he was
all the extra trauma and terrible.
You know what?
Flying
Who
blue
doesn't
whales.
Extra trauma. I mean, it's the thing that most people order on the menu.
Yeah, exactly. Like when you've had a big helping of trauma, you just
Yeah,
gotta you gotta take a chaser of more trauma.
Yeah, I want a double trauma. I don't want just one.
Yeah.
I want a double trauma. Absolutely. Phantom loved the flying blue whales.
That is a classic.
Pretty delightful. What about you, Josh? What was your favorite moment?
The RP, 100%. Just the whole RP between all four of us at the beginning was just amazing. And then the mysteriousness of what was watching
Yeah, we were all like, what
Lilith
the
as well.
fuck?
That was super delightful. I loved that too. I really enjoyed, and especially you guys allowing me to be like, okay, why are you actually doing that? Like, what is this? What is this? Is that what you would do? What's happening here? Because I feel like it really was this lovely section where everybody really started looking at their characters and like, ooh, who am I? Ooh, what is this? And I just watched you all get deeper and deeper and deeper into it, and it made me so happy. Personally, my personal favorite as the DM was I've been wanting to try this super fast-paced narrative combat that I adore. Like, just for me, because that quick fire, forcing people to like jump in and out and things like that. Nope, you gotta do it now. It moves that story along so fast. And it just, for me, I'm just like, ooh, what do I have to do now? How do I stop? Okay, I gotta defend myself. What's going on? And it's just, so I love that. We may or may not be using that, often in the future, but we had like 10 minutes to get through an entire.
Yeah, I was like, oh, we're rolling initiative. Okay, yeah.
No,
fine.
I honest to God, I was just like, how far are we gonna get into this? Like, we don't have that much time left.
Especially when you rolled his hit points.
Yeah, I was like,
I mean, you all have like crazy superpowers at this point, so so combat is not going to last more than 3 rounds.
Phantom says, "Hey guys, why are we running? I can cast teleport."
That was one of my favorite bits as
my
well.
God. Yeah. Just Lilith would like everybody in chat to know that Zach has solidified his position as Tweedledee, but Tweedledum and Tweedledummer, that keeps swapping off, just depending. It's kind of a sliding scale,
Absolutely.
Honestly, what happened was I got distracted, and the narrative of running, and I was like happened, and I was like, oh fuck, I just teleport. Oh god damn it!
But you shouldn't have said anything, because then we wouldn't have known.
That's right. There's Huli, I missed this in the chat. I'm so sorry. Huli, like half an hour ago, made them do push-ups.
Oh.
Yeah, so I saw that.
And then left.
To roll a d20 to see who's doing the push-ups. Shall we see that? The final roll of the evening.
Oh, no need. Why even roll after that gloriousness? Let's see if anybody else crit fails.
Yeah, because everybody that crit fails is gonna have to do it.
Yeah, crit failed.
Hey Lando, what you gonna do? What do you got?
Yes!
Oh, Lilith. Yep. Lilith.
Yes!
Right. As for
Can I-
Lilith, I'm
Are
gonna
you
need 20
kidding?
push-ups from each of you.
Can I
I
roll
think
my
20 push-ups.
inspiration? I have
Nope.
another inspiration.
No, you cannot.
Dang it.
Unacceptable, sir.
How
Do
many
your push-ups
push-ups?
while we give away some dice.
20.
20? Oh,
20
good
push-ups.
God. You know
Yeah.
what? I don't like Huli anymore. I know she's not in this chat, but can somebody go ahead and clip this so I can send it to Huli and I will let her know that I don't like her anymore.
That's
Thanks.
right. We're not friends.
Glad that's not me. I struggle
And
to do
now-
one.
If I can get through 20 push-ups, you can get through 20 push-ups.
I definitely can't. my strength is in my legs,
Oh, well, there you go. There you go.
not my
Hey,
arms.
hey, Diraxis, who's winning some dice here?
Let's do it.
Who gets some fabulous Phoenix dice? And while we're rolling for that, remember, go hit up Hero Forge because they are amazing and incredibly supportive of this community, and we very much love them. So get there, get you some fabulous minis, and do all the things. And who's gonna win? Who's gonna win?
The winner
Who's it?
is Pixie.
Pixie!
Nice.
Fabulous! Congratulations! Shoot me a note on Discord, and we will get you some delightful Phoenix dice, ya goblin, ya dice goblin, and stick around for the raid, shall we? We're going to go raid Connie Sideshow, is who we are going to raid today. And remember, when we raid, we tell them what we're bringing to the potluck. I personally am going to bring a terrified and confused party. That's what I'm going to bring. What are you going to bring?
I'm
Rage?
bringing. Yeah,
I'm
I'm
having
bringing
to
a
do push-ups just now.
I'm bringing a Furious V with me.
I was gonna say Diraxis' trauma, but I guess people still don't want to talk about that.
Yeah,
You can tell
I
the
mean,
you can tell
Reginald
the difference between-
doesn't.
You can tell the difference between who actually did the push-ups and who didn't, because V is very red-faced.
I did all 20 of them. I'm sorry. I'm not as
Oh,
nerdy as some people.
Oh, damn. Damn.
Wow.
Is that what the
With
opposite
that,
of athletic is now?
Before we start screaming again, we're going to raid. Love you all. See you tomorrow for Delta.
Bye, guys.
All right, bye, everybody. Take care.